A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
K-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program, coming to you from Radio City, New York, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Hooray for Hollywood. It hardly seems possible, but it's true. Only 12 more shopping days till Christmas. 12 crowded days that will go by like the wind with so little time for planning or preparing your daily menus. Well, here's a helpful hint. Stock up on Jell-O tomorrow, for with Jell-O on your pantry shelf, you can win that race with the old clock. Jell-O dissolves instantly, sets quickly, and offers you dozens of delicious desserts prepared in next to no time. It tastes just grand served perfectly plain in any of those 6 delicious flavors. Or you can dress it up with different canned fruits for a touch of quick and easy variety. Just be sure to get genuine Jell-O when you buy, for Jell-O brings you that delicious extra-rich fruit flavor, a rich, full-flavored goodness that simply can't be topped. So for ease, speed, and swell things to eat, ask your grocer for Jell-O. Played by the orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you a man who came to New York in the middle of winter without an overcoat and still hasn't bought one, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Jack Benny, the holdout, talking. And, Don, I wish you'd stop harping about an overcoat. I told you last week I don't need one.
I know, Jack, but it's dangerous to walk the streets this kind of weather without a coat. After all, this is winter.
Don, believe me, cold weather doesn't bother me. I'm just naturally rugged. Well, I was the first fellow in Waukegan to ever get a haircut in the middle of December. I can take it.
Well, that may be so, Jack, but I still think that you're not dressed warm enough.
Why, Don, it hasn't been so cold this week. As a matter of fact, it's been raining most of the time.
Then why don't you buy a raincoat?
Listen, Don, are you selling clothing or Jell-O?
Jell-O.
Then stick to it or I'll fatten up Graham McNamee for your job. Now, let's drop it. You know, Don, I can't understand why Phil had to pick out an orchestra that works for Fred Allen.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. Maybe they're worried about something. Maybe they're serious musicians.
Serious? Last Wednesday night, all Allen said was, hello, Porty, and those guys went into hysterics.
Well, maybe they jumped their cue.
You nearly jumped yours.
Yes.
That's probably what happened. Now, you know, I don't mind Allen telling him when to laugh and applaud. But when he throws lighted matches around to get them to stamp their feet, that's going too far. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Applecart. What upset you now?
Oh, it's that smart aleck orchestra Phil had to ring in on me. I wish you'd just ignore him, Mary. You haven't been out with any of the boys in this band, have you?
Only the brass section.
Oh.
I like fellas with derbies.
Oh, good. Well, stay away from the woodwinds. But by the way, Mary, I thought you were going to meet me the other night for dinner and go to a show afterwards.
Jack, I've told you 1,000 times I'm not going out with you until you buy an overcoat.
Oh, you're as bad as Don. I told you I don't need an overcoat. This blue suit keeps me plenty warm.
It ought to. You got your gray one under it.
Oh, was that darn thing showing again? Anyway, you missed a wonderful treat. I saw that new Olson and Johnson review.
Oh, they got a show here? What's the name of it?
It's called Hex-a-Poppin'.
Hex-a-Poppin'?
Yeah.
Not the night I saw it.
Go away, Phil. Just say, Mary, you missed a grand evening's entertainment.
Well, to tell you the truth, Jack, I went over to visit my folks in Plainfield that night. They're having trouble with the landlord again.
Hey, that's been going on for years. Mary, your father's working. Why doesn't he pay the rent?
Oh, he says everything belongs to the Indians anyway.
Well, the least he could do is give the landlord a string of beads. The only thing I can't understand, Mary, is how your family keep from being thrown out.
Thrown out? My folks move so often, Mama wears a gypsy costume.
Oh. Well, I guess some people are just naturally restless.
Yeah, we even had to change our dog's name from Fido to Rover.
Nice family.
Say, Jack.
What?
I just got a letter from Mama that'll positively kill you.
Well, it's about time. What's the Noel Coward of Plainfield got to say?
Here it is. Oh, this is a riot.
Well, never mind the build-up. Just read it.
Okay. My darling daughter, Mary. Just a line to let you know how happy your visit made us. And to tell you that you left a pair of gloves here on the piano.
That was careless.
They fit me fine, but I will send them to you immediately, if that's the way you feel about it. Anyway, it's lucky you left when you did. I think your sister Lulu has the bumps. As she was blowing up a balloon yesterday, and when she stopped, her cheeks wouldn't go down.
Oh, that's too bad.
Right now, she looks like a tuba player getting ready for a high note.
Say, it's a good thing you got away from there.
By the way, Mary, your grandfather is at it again. He may be old, but he certainly follows the latest style.
I remember the old geezer.
This morning, when he came into breakfast, he was wearing his beard up.
He was. Say, with his beard up over his face, he must have trouble eating.
Mama's coming to that. We had chicken soup for lunch today, and you should have seen your grandfather looking for a noodle in the haystack.
The old gal's cooking tonight. Any other bulletins?
No other news, except your cousin Otto is in trouble with the police again.
Now what?
They caught him on a ladder the other night, and he wasn't eloping.
That's right. You can't take silverware to Niagara Falls.
That's all for now. Give my love to the gang, and hope to see you before you leave. Your devoted mother, Gypsy Rose Livingston.
Wow.
P.S. It's only 2 weeks to Christmas, so give my love to Jack, too.
Well, that's very sweet of her. What a racketeer. Now, let's get on with the program. Oh, Kenny. Hey, where's Kenny? He's supposed to sing right now.
I don't know.
Oh, I remember. Kenny borrowed $10 from me and said he was going out to see the World's Fair.
The World's Fair? That doesn't open until spring.
He'll wait.
Darn that kid. Well, if we can't have a song, I'll have to play a violin solo.
A violin solo?
Get back in your seats, man.
That's what I say. Hand me a violin, Phil.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. Can't we talk this over?
I know what I'm doing, Phil. Let go of me. Hey, boys, do you know At Long Last Love?
No.
How about My Reverie?
No.
Piano player?
Yeah?
Do you know when it's tulip time in Holland?
I think it's in April, isn't it?
Oh, never mind. They'd probably ruin it for me anyway. Well, as long as we have to do without Kenny, play something, Phil. Got to get going here. Hold it a minute. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
I'm awfully sorry you're not going to play a violin solo tonight.
You are? Well, so am I.
But who are we, the people?
Get out of here. Be glad when the beaver season opens. I'd like to bag him.
I'm no millionaire, but I'm not the type to care, 'cause I've got old pocket full of dreams. It's my universe, even with an empty purse, 'cause I've got that pocket full of dreams. Wouldn't trade the wealth on Wall Street for a road where nature thrives, and to calculate I'm worth my weight in the golden rods. Lucky, lucky me, I can live in luxury, 'cause I've got that pocket full of dreams. I'm no millionaire, but I'm not the type to care, 'cause I've got that pocket full of dreams. It's my universe, even with an empty purse. 'Cause I've got old pocket full of dreams. Wouldn't trade that wealth on Wall Street for a rope when they should try. And to calculate, I'm worth my weight in the golden rod.
Yeah, man.
Lucky, lucky me, I'll go on in lovery. 'Cause I've got old pockets full of dreams.
Pocket Full of Dreams, played by the orchestra with a vocal refrain by Phil Martinelli. Now I know why you didn't want me to play my violin, Phil. It was just so you could do a number yourself, you big ham.
Well, what if I did? Don't be so jealous.
I'm not jealous. If I couldn't sing better than that, I wouldn't even attempt it. Me jealous. Why should I be? I got more money in the bank than you have. Haven't I, Mary?
You've got more money in your socks than he has in the bank.
Mary, if you're referring to that bulge above my shoe, I was getting out of the bathtub this morning and I sprained my ankle.
Well, you've got Lincoln's picture on the bandage.
All right, Mary. Anyway, that's what happened.
Bathtub? What were you doing in the bathtub?
I was sailing a boat. What was I doing in the bathtub? What do you think I was doing? Diving for pearls? Or my laundry?
That could happen.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. I shouldn't even discuss it, but I don't do my own laundry.
Well, someone should.
All right, just keep it up, fellas. Just keep it up. So, when I do my Christmas shopping, I'll remember every word that was said here.
Now, hold on a minute, Jack. Have I ever said anything to hurt your feelings?
No, you haven't, Don.
Have I ever said anything that would cause you a moment's unhappiness?
No, Don, you haven't. Here it comes, folks.
Have I ever said anything except that Jell-O is economical, easy to make, and comes in 6 delicious flavors? Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
No, Don, and I'll admire you for it. To prove my faith in you, I'm going to let you handle the show from now on.
Where are you going, Jack?
Well, I've still got a lot of Christmas shopping to do, and I thought I'd finish it up today. You can handle things around here, can't you, Don?
Oh, sure, Jack. Go right ahead.
Can I go with you, Jack?
Yeah, because if I leave you here, you're liable to say something about me.
All right, I'll go with you and say it.
Yeah. Really? Come on, Don. I'll see you. We're going ahead. I'll see you later. Wait a minute. I'll take it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Oh, well, it's about time. We've been in town 10 days, and the first I've heard from you. Where are you?
I'm up here in Harlem enjoying a little Southern hospitality.
Oh, well, you know, Rochester, even though we're in New York, you still have work to do.
I thought this was a pleasure trip.
Pleasure trip? I've had to unpack my own bags, answer the phone, and do everything myself. You expect to get paid this week, don't you?
Definitely.
I thought so. What have you been doing?
Well, last Wednesday night, some friends of mine threw a big banquet in my honor.
Oh, did you have a good time?
I don't know. It ain't over yet.
It ain't over yet. Well, for heaven's sake, how long is this party going to last?
Until somebody with a blue coat knocks on the door with an axe.
Well, I don't mind you having a good time, Rochester, but in case things get dull there, I wish you'd drop around and press some pans for me.
Okay, boss, I'll be there tomorrow.
Fine. Oh, incidentally, when I unpacked my bags the other day, I couldn't find my full dress suit.
You couldn't? My.
I'm not asking for sympathy, Rochester. Where is my full dress suit?
You mean the one you look so good in?
Stop flattering me. Rochester, where is my full dress suit?
Why don't you wear your tuxedo?
Now, Rochester, for the last time, where is my full dress suit?
Well, I'll be doggone. I got it on.
I thought so. Of all the brazen, unmitigated nerve, how dare you put on any of my wardrobe? How dare you?
Are you disappointed in me, boss?
Disappointed. Now, listen to me, Rochester.
Yes, sir?
I want you to be at my hotel at 8 o'clock sharp tomorrow morning.
Shall I come formal?
Yes, Bring the suit. Goodbye.
So long, boss.
That's positively the last word in nerve. Play, Phil. I got to go out and do some shopping. Come on. This store is crowded, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah, getting through this mob is like playing Notre Dame.
Yeah, everybody's shoving and pushing. Ooh! Madam, will you please watch your umbrella? You better stick close to me, Mary, and don't get lost. And take your hand out of my pocket.
Not my hand.
Then whose is it? Well, for goodness... Hey, buddy, what are you doing with your hand in my pocket?
I don't know. I guess I'm an optimist.
Let's get away from here, Mary. Now, let's see. Here's my Christmas list. An electric razor for Don. A necktie for Kenny. A chorus girl for Phil. And,
What are you going to get for me, Jack?
I'm not going to tell you, Mary. It's a surprise. It's something between a Rolls Royce and a compact.
I'll bet the last will be first.
Oh, I don't know about that. Remember last Christmas I gave you that lovely bottle of perfume?
Fine perfume. I put some on my handkerchief and had to bury it.
No, it wasn't that bad. Incidentally, I have to buy some. I wish you'd help me pick it out.
Okay, here's the counter, Jack.
Oh, yes. Pardon me, miss. I'd like to get a bottle of perfume.
Yes, sir. Now, here's something new this season that's very popular.
Well, what an attractive bottle, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah.
What's the name of that, miss?
It's called Springtime in the Bronx.
Oh, yes, it's lovely that time of year with the bagels all in bloom. But, miss, look, I'd like something a little more exotic. Something, shall we say, ooh la la?
Oui, oui.
Well.
Now, here's a perfume that's all the rage in Paris. It's called Toujours l'amour voulez-vous.
Well, toujours l'amour voulez-vous. What does that mean, Mary?
Love your magic smell is everywhere.
Well, it sounds much better in French. How much is that, miss?
$10 an ounce or $4,000 a gallon.
Well, I'm afraid that's a little steep. Let's see. What else have you got?
Now, here's something very nice. It sells for $3.50 a bottle.
Hey, that's quite a bargain. Who makes that?
Haig and Haig.
Oh, I'm afraid that won't do either. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Gee, miss, I don't know what kind of perfume to buy.
Why don't you just run some violets through a wringer and make it yourself?
Well, of all the impertinence. Come on, Mary, I've got a good mind to report her.
Well, it's not her fault, Jack. She's busy.
Busy?
Yes, when you spend that much time with a girl, you either have to buy something or marry her.
Oh. Well, come on, I got to get some neckties for Kenny. And stick close to me, Mary. You'll get lost in this crowd.
Hey, Jack, there's that fellow again.
Where? Ouch. Buddy, will you please keep your hand out of my pocket?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you're the clumsiest pickpocket I've ever met.
Well, I'm young yet.
Now stay away from me until you loin something. Now, let's see. Where's the necktie counter?
There's a floor walker, Jack. Ask him.
Oh, yes. Pardon me, mister.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for ties. Where can I get a good dollar necktie?
I'm afraid you better ask somebody else.
Why?
I work here. I'm prejudiced.
Nevertheless, I'd like to find the necktie department. Where is it?
Neckties. Now, let's see. That wouldn't come under crockery, would it?
No, it comes under chin, if I remember. Now, look, mister, I haven't got all day. Where can I buy a tie?
Well, you don't have to get huffy about it.
I'm not huffy. You big dope.
Oh, go back to Hollywood and squeeze an orange.
Now, look here,
Hey,
you.
Jack, there's a necktie department right in back of you.
Oh, that's right. Fine floor walker. He's a disgrace to his carnation. Fine floor walker. He's a disgrace to his carnation. Oh, here we are. Well, there's quite a selection here.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'd like to buy some ties.
Four-in-hand, bow, or railroad?
Look, I want a necktie, a regular necktie.
I'm glad to hear that. The one you're wearing is awful.
Well, it is a little wrinkled.
Now, here's a very snappy tie, mister, with an American flag on it.
Oh, yes.
Take it, Jack. It'll go good with your white shirt with the stars on it.
Yeah, that's right. It is unusual. How much is this tie with the flag on it?
$62.50.
$62.50?
Yes, Betsy Ross made it.
For heaven's sake, what is this, a store or a museum?
I don't know. I always come in the back door.
Well, that settles it. I'm getting out of this joint.
Wait a minute, Jack. As long as you're here, why don't you buy an overcoat?
I told you before, I don't need one.
You do, too.
I do not, and take your hand out of my pocket. And come in quicker.
Good heavens, you're getting monotonous.
All right. Come on, Mary. I'll buy that overcoat just so you'll keep still. Where's that silly floor walker again?
There he is, right over there.
Oh, yeah. Say, mister, I hate to go through this again, but can you tell me where the overcoat department is?
I'm not speaking to you.
Well, I'm not going to make up with you either. Come on, Mary. I'll find the overcoats myself.
You better carry some of these bundles, honey.
I'm loaded now.
Rochester.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny. You shopping, too?
Yeah, I thought you were up in Harlem at a banquet.
I was, but I ran into some money with a pair of dice, so my girlfriend brought me down here to liquidate.
Oh, I see.
Boss, I'd like you to meet Miss Lucille. What is your last name, honey?
Garbo.
Oh, Lucille Garbo. How do you do?
Glad to know you, Mr. Benny. Rochester's been telling me about that big oil well you two own.
Oil well? What oil well?
Come on, honey, let's go.
Rochester!
See you later, boss.
Oil well? Wait till I see him tomorrow.
Oh, Jack, I found the overcoat department. I've got one all picked out for you.
Look, I'll pick out my own. Where is it?
Come on, I'll show you.
Now, Mary, while I'm buying my coat, you can run along. You don't have to stay.
I wouldn't miss this for $1 million.
All right, but I don't want any remarks.
Here's the salesman. Isn't he cute?
Oh, so that's it, huh?
How do you do, sir?
How do you do? I'm Jack Benny, and I'd like to buy an overcoat.
I see. Oh, Joe.
Yeah?
Come over here. I'm going to need help on this.
Okay, Mr. Peters.
Now, what have you got in mind, Mr. Benny?
Well, I'd like to get...
Now, here's a very popular model. All wool, double-breasted, and wears like I am.
Well, it's nice, yeah, but I'd rather...
Try it on. I'm sure you'll like it.
Look, I don't care for the color.
Try it on anyway. Hold him, Joe.
I got him.
Now, wait a minute.
There you are, Mr. Benny. A perfect fit.
A perfect fit?
Absolutely. Now, do you want the sleeves lengthened, or are you going to wear gloves?
Now, look, mister, I don't like this coat at all. In the first place, it's too long. Look, when I move, it drags on the floor.
Not if you walk on your toes.
Well, that's about the silliest thing I've ever heard.
It looks marvelous on you.
Marvelous? I've been in shower curtains that fit better than this. Now, look here. I don't like this model at all. Take it off.
All right.
I don't like the weight, and I don't like the color.
But it's only $29.50.
Put it back on, fellas.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. I don't want this coat at any price.
Oh, you don't, huh? Well, try it on again. This coat will grow on you.
Grow? I could raise pigeons in it now. Now, look, Mr. Brown, I don't want...
Just slip it on again.
Look, but I don't like...
I got him, Mr. Peters.
Hey, what's the matter with you guys anyway?
There you are. Now, how do you like it?
I don't like it. Look at this coat. There aren't even buttons on it.
Of course not. This is the new zipper model. Look. There you are.
Mary, let's get out of here. These fellas are maniacs. What are you laughing at?
You look like a guy speaking out of a sack of potatoes.
Well, I've just had about enough of this. I'm going home. Unzipper me.
Okay, here we go again.
Come on, Mary, let's go.
All right, Jack.
Oh, no, you don't. Grab him, Joe.
I got him. Out of my way. You out of my way.
All right, Joe, let him have it.
Ha-ha, you missed me. What a sore loser.
Oh, Jack, he shot me right through my new hat.
Well, no wonder. It looks like a wild duck. Good heavens, what a mutt.
You ever get the feeling you simply can't think of anything different to have for a dessert? Well, cheer up. There's always something new, and here's one good suggestion for tomorrow. It's the delicious new Jell-O butterscotch pudding prepared with 10 creamy marshmallows cut in quarters and folded inside. Good? Ah, you bet it's good. Sounds smooth, rich, and mellow with a golden brown color, as tempting as taffy, and a taste that's luscious with true butterscotch flavor. Then try the new Jell-O vanilla pudding. It's creamy and delicate, fresh tasting and smooth, for it's made with real vanilla. You'll find that it's an all-family favorite, and it's wholesome and nourishing. Then there's Jell-O chocolate pudding, just like old-fashioned homemade pudding, rich and chocolatey, made a quicker, easier, better way. For all three Jell-O puddings are delightfully simple to prepare. The quick, easy directions are in every package, together with some interesting recipe variations. Buy 3 packages at a time. Ask your grocer tomorrow for Jell-O butterscotch, vanilla, and chocolate pudding.
This is the last number of the 12th program in the new Jell-O series. And we'll be with you again next Sunday at the same time, broadcasting from Hollywood, California. And, folks, I want you all to know that I was only kidding before. I really have an overcoat, haven't I, Mary?
Yes, but the elbows are out.
Of course, that's why I didn't wear it. Good night, folks.
J-E-L-L.
Tonight's music included F.D.R. Jones from Sing Out the News. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee and Company with Jim Jordan as Fibber, Donald Novis, Billy Mills Orchestra, and our special guest for tonight, Schlepperman. The show opens with I Hit a New High. Probably have many people coming and going through your home between now and the new year. And it's important that your floors be clean and shining, protected from wear. So without delay, you should buy a can of Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat. And let this remarkable no-rubbing polish make your floors shine like new. Takes only a few minutes of your time to apply Glow Coat. Just spread the liquid lightly over the surface with a soft cloth or long-handled Glow Coat applier. Then go about your other affairs. 20 minutes later, your floor will be gleaming with a wonderful Glow Coat polish. After the Christmas festivities are over, your cleaning work will be easy. Your floors will have a bright start for the new year. Glow Coat keeps kitchen linoleum spick and span, protects the surface of varnished and painted wood floors from scuffing feet, makes your home more sanitary and more attractive. Ask your dealer for Johnson's Glow Coat, the no-rubbing liquid polish that never streaks or smears. GLO-COAT. Johnston Self-Polishing Glow Coat. If it comes to you as a shock, but tonight Fibber is not doing his Christmas shopping. It's all done. However, he's so afraid that nobody will give him the thing he really wants that he's buying it for himself. And here, squirming and elbowing his way through the mob of belated buyers at the Bon-Ton department store, we find Fibber, the crowd roars, McGee.
Pardon me, please. I'm going down to that necktie counter here.
Boy, what a jam. I wonder. Hey, floor walker.
Yes, sir?
Where do I find the stationery?
The stationery what?
Listen, Bud, that was not a very good joke.
Oh, I know it, sir. But during the Christmas rush, we employees must take our fun where we find it.
Yeah, I suppose so. I bet if all the Christmas shoppers that ask you foolish questions were laid end to end, you could have a lot of fun with a steamroller.
Yes, or a lawnmower if they all had beards. What was it you wished to buy, sir?
A pencil, an automatic pencil.
Oh, yes, sir. You go right over here.
Excuse me, floor walker. Whom do I speak to about a card table I bought from a salesman that has wobbly legs?
Well, the old age pension clerk, fourth floor. Now then, sir, about the pencil.
Yeah.
You'll find them second aisle over.
Oh, thanks, Bud. And a Merry Christmas.
The formal answer to that, sir, is the same to you. But my heart isn't in it. Good day.
Pardon me.
Nice girl. Hey, sis, do you carry pencils at this counter?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's good. Now, I ain't a regular Christmas shopper. My shopping is all taken care of, but I do want a good automatic pencil for myself.
Why, certainly, sir. Now, here's a beautiful pencil with 6 different colored leads. It comes in a beautiful gift box.
I don't want a gift box, and I don't want a pencil with colored leads. All I want is a good, plain, automatic pencil that makes black marks on white paper. That's simple enough, ain't it?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Who's it for, you little boy?
Dad, drat it, I tell you, it's for me. This has nothing to do with Christmas.
Then why did you want it in a gift box?
Well, simply because I don't want it in a gift box. Listen, sis, how much is that black pencil in the case there?
A special for Christmas, $1, ordinarily 75 cents.
Okay, wrap it up.
As a gift?
Yes. No, Dad, wrap it. Oh, what's the use? Yes, wrap it as a gift. And put a card in it that says, to Fibber McGee, from Fibber McGee with difficulty. Send it to me at 79 Wistful Vista.
Yes, sir, and I can promise you, sir, it will reach you in time for Christmas.
Pardon me, lady. I want to get through here.
Thanks, girl. Shucks, these clerks are so full of Christmas, they look for antlers on dray horses. Now, let's see, which way is it?
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where the children's toys are?
Well, that depends, Bud. If you come home late from a movie, they're usually in the middle of the floor where you can stumble over them.
A wise guy, huh? I asked a simple question, that's all.
Asking me where the children's toys are. We're standing right in the middle of the department.
Something about the soldier. There's something about the soldier. He walks along with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tickets.
Slapper man.
Hello, stranger.
What you doing here in the toy department, Slap?
Well, I'm a special salesman, Fibby, catering to the swanky trade. I was just transferred from the men's fashions.
Oh, men's fashions, eh?
Yeah.
Say, there's something I've been meaning to find out. Suppose I wear a brown suit, brown tie, brown hat, and brown shoes. How about socks?
Put on a pair. It's considered very smart. But, Fibby, let's get down to business. My time is the limit. Fibby, would you like something today in a cheap, high-class bottle?
Nope, I got my Christmas shopping all done, Slap.
I don't agree with you.
What do you mean you don't agree with me? I guess I know when I got my shopping done, I guess.
Fibby, I hate to disillusion you, but when you meet a special salesman with my classification, you're doing some more shopping.
Is that so? Oh, no, I'm not. I ain't buying another thing. I'm through.
Excuse me a minute, please.
What's that?
My safety valve. I'm a high-pressure salesman.
Well, you can't high-pressure me. I ain't buying. My shopping is all done.
Just one more thing, Fibby. Buy a nice tricycle for your little nephew. What a bargain you'll get.
I don't care if you're giving them away. I don't want a tricycle.
My. Up on the housetops. Click, click, click. And he wouldn't give his little nephew a tricycle. What are you, a Scrooge?
No, I ain't a Scrooge, but I got my Christmas shopping all done, I tell you.
A fine uncle you are, Fibby. Right now in the Yuletide, a tricycle for your little nephew would be just the thing. You ask me why? Because it's streamlined. Streamlining is from a teardrop. Whose teardrop? Your nephew's. Why? Because you'll surprise him with this beautiful tricycle. Shall I wrap it up, or am I too commercial? Which is it?
Oh, now listen, Slep, I don't want
Now look at this tricycle. There's real leather in this saddle, just like the Lone Stranger. And only 3 wheels. A coaster wagon has 4, and you save 1 wheel. It's a bargain, Fibby.
Yeah, but shucks, I'm not.
Oh, listen to the bell. Hey. Ah, it's so musical. I hate to let it go at 14.50. A tricycle with such a bell shouldn't go for less than 17.50. It's a sacrifice with a capital Z.
But I tell you, I don't want...
All right. Make it 12.50. And remember, Fibby, you talked me out of it. Not a chiseler.
Well, maybe that is a good price, but shucks, I don't want
And
it.
only a small additional charge for delivery. And I can arrange it so you don't have to pay it.
Oh, that's swell.
You can carry it home. Do you want to pay cash, or do you want to retard prosperity? Which is it? Now, take my advice and pay cash.
Okay, Slep. Here you are.
My, what a proud nephew you'll have. Here, carry it like this, over the shoulder.
Okay. Well, so long. I got to grab a streetcar and get home. A Merry Christmas to you, Slep.
Yes, and a fancy New Year to you, Fibby.
And mutiny in the nursery from you, Mills.
Mutiny in the nursery. Mother Goose is on the loose, her kids are swinging out. There's mutiny in the nursery and music in the nursery. Mother Goose is on the loose, you ought to hear him shout. If you could see Miss Jenny Jones, Jenny Jones, yeah, Jenny Jones. If you see Miss Jenny Jones, you'll find her swinging lively. Lazy Mary won't get up.
She won't get up.
Won't get up. Lazy Mary won't get up. She stays out too late nightly. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep, but she knows where to find them, for they all stand around the bend, wagging their tails behind them. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little jitterbugs, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little jitterbugs, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little jitterbugs, 10 little jitterbug boys, 10 little, 9 little, 8 little jitterbugs, 7 little, 6 little, 5 little jitterbugs, 4 little, 3 little, 2 little jitterbugs, 1 little jitterbug girl. Shoot me in the nursery, shoot me in the nursery. Mother Goose is on the loose, her kids are swinging out. Little Jack Horner came to the corner playing his clarinet. He stopped to come and played so down Team Blue and their hot duet. Mutiny in the nursery when they all got loose. They began to yell for old Mother Goose. A goosey, goosey gander, take a tip from me. Better trot on home before you miss the jamboree. Oh, there's mutiny in the nursery. Mutiny in the nursery, yeah. Mother Goose is on the loose. Her kids are swinging out. Her kids are swinging out.
Folks, that was Mutiny in the Nursery, played by Captain Bligh Mills and sung by the Four Notes. Hey, officer, is this where I catch a car to 14th Street?
Sure it is, me bucko. You think you can get on a streetcar with that tricycle, no?
Oh, I think so. You'll admit it's easier than getting on a tricycle with a streetcar. Uh-oh, here she comes.
All aboard! Easy with that tricycle, mister. We're pretty crowded. Folks, move back in the car, please.
Okay, conductor, I'm on. Hey, this is kind of crowded, ain't it? Anybody got a gallon of olive oil we can pour over us?
What for?
Well, we might as well smell like sardines, too. Say, conductor, would you give me a transfer?
Why, certainly, Mr. Mills. Wait till I punch it.
Ain't going to be much left of that transfer when you... Won't be much left when you get through punching it, Bud.
Yeah, I know. But I'm going to a New Year's Eve party, and I need the confetti. Here you are, sir.
Thanks. Incidentally, Billy, where's Harpo? Oh, he's up ahead somewhere. See, up past the fella carrying the Christmas tree. Oh, is he the one with the green fedora standing under the words, no rubbing, no buffing on that glow coat car card? I think so. I'll find out. Hey, Harpo, is that you up there under that glow coat car card?
The one that says Johnson Self-Polishing Glow Coat is the easiest to use preparation for floors and linoleum because it shines as it dries and gives a beautiful polish with no rubbing or buffing.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's him, Billy. Is Don Novus aboard? Yes, he is. I thought so. He always rides free. Why? Well, no conductor can ever change a tenor. Dear, dear. Hey, can you folks give us a little more room here? Thanks. Pretty crowded, isn't it, conductor?
Yeah. There are even some men standing up. All right, folks. 23rd Street, I believe. 23rd Street. Anybody want to take a chance on this being 23rd Street?
Don't you know the streets, Bud?
There are too many people. I can't see out of the window. But I can guess pretty accurately.
Oh, you can? Well, where are we now?
We're just passing the brewery. Oh, no, we're not either. Stop breathing down my neck, will you, brother?
I'm sorry. Hey, somebody's standing on my left foot. Who is it? Who's standing on my foot?
Just a moment, folks. Will the person who thinks he might be standing on Mr. McGee's foot please stamp twice?
Oh, maybe it's me. Say, it is me. I'm sorry, folks. I had my right foot standing on my left one.
9th Street, 9th Street. I hope. Anybody want off at 9th Street? Oh, darn it. Nobody wants off at 9th Street.
Why'd you want him to, Bud?
Well, there's a big puddle of water in the gutter at 9th Street. And I got a bet with the motorman he can't stop exactly in front of it every time.
You ought to get a job in Venice, conductor on a gondola. Hey, what do you think of the tricycle I got from my little nephew?
Say, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Hello there, Johnny.
Oh, hi, old-timer. What's so amusing?
Hey?
I says, what's so amusing?
You busted my fountain pen with one of them handlebars, Johnny, and the ink is running down and tickling my stomach.
It is, huh? Well, if it was warm enough to go without a shirt, you could pass as little boy blue. Of course, if it's black ink, that joke's no good. Well, I guess it's no good even if it's blue.
That's pretty good, Johnny, but that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says to the other feller, see, says, see where a couple of our prominent citizens have been accepting medals from them foreign dictators. Well, says t'other feller, you can't blame them. They didn't know they was being decorated with a double cross. Hey, let me off here, conductor. This is as far as I go this week.
Why, that old crutch bender, what does he know about politics? I'll bet he thinks a foreign secretary is a stenographer with an accent. Oh, hi, Sil. I didn't know you were on this streetcar.
I'm at McGee, please. We get a little old tricycle.
Oh, I bought that for my little nephew, Sil. Cute, ain't it?
Yes, it sure is.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to be real happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing my shopping, too, please.
Oh, yeah. What'd you get?
Well, for Rosebud. Rosebud, that's my gal. I got a big bottle of toilet water.
Oh.
At 10 nights in a flower shop. And I got a package of bath sugar.
Wait a minute.
What?
Bath salt, Sil.
Yeah, but don't you think sugar sounds better?
Yeah, sugar is more refined. Now, what else you get her, Sil?
A nice new dress, but I ain't gonna give that to her till after New Year's, though.
Oh, afraid she'll go to a party and spill something on her?
No, sir, but if she get it before Christmas, it's only going to be a week before she can complain about it being a last year's dress.
17th Street, I imagine. 17th Street, maybe.
Well, excuse me, please, Mr. McGee. I got to get off here and get busy with my needlework.
Oh, do you do needlework?
Yes, sir. I got to sweep out a store where they sell Christmas trees. Merry Christmas, Mr. McGee.
This tricycle is getting a little too heavy to hold. Would you folks mind moving just a little bit, please, so as I can set this tricycle down?
Woo, please, Mr. McGee. Watch out where you put those handlebars.
Excuse me, Mrs. Uppington, I didn't see you there. I didn't know you ever rode the streetcars, Uppy.
Oh, yes, yes. One meets such quaint characters, doesn't one?
Oh, yes.
Tell me, Mr. McGee, how much should one tip the porter on a streetcar?
Tip the porter?
Yes, yes. Some man took my hat and handbag a little while ago, and he took them away in a paper bag. He said he hoped I'd had a very nice trip. Oh, he was very courteous.
Hey, listen, Uppy, there ain't any porters on a streetcar. You've been gypped out of a hat and a purse. You realize that?
Really? Oh, isn't that amusing?
Was there much money in the handbag?
No, Mr. McGee, just a few dollars. Oh, and a Christmas check from my brother for $100.
$100? Look, do you realize that all he's got to do is forge your name on the back of that check and get the money?
Oh, now, don't be upset, Mr. McGee. He couldn't do that, you know.
He couldn't?
No. He wouldn't know what name to forge, really.
Well, why not? It's made out to you, ain't it?
Of course not, silly boy. It's made out to cash.
Hey, conductor, don't forget to tell me when we get to 14th Street.
I won't, Mr. McGee. By the way, did I get your fare, sir?
Who, mine?
No, the heavy-set gentleman behind you.
Oh, I'd like to see, but I ain't got room to turn around.
I think the nickel nudger refers to me, my boy.
Oh, let's see. I know that voice. Horatio K. Boomer. How are you, Boomer?
Very well, thank you, Spark Plug.
I still didn't get your fare, mister.
Oh, yes, the fare. Forgetful of me, the fare. I think I have a transfer here somewhere. Let me see. Transfer.
Hey, that's my pocket.
Oh, yes, so it is. Natural mistake. Used to have a suit just like that myself. But I tore the seat of the pants one night jumping out of a friend's limousine. Let me see now. Where did I put that transfer?
You probably got absent-minded again and picked your own pocket.
If I had, I'd have caught me and made me put it back. Let me see now. Where I put that transfer. Here's a Christmas card I'm sending to the quintuplet's mother. What's that address again? Oh, yes, general delivery. Let's see. Lady's platinum wristwatch. Ah, the dear girl. To think I shall never meet her again, if I have any luck. Let's see now. Stethoscope for listening to vault combinations. Heard one last night with a leaky ventricle. Interesting case. Needed a change and a rest. I left the change and took the rest. Yes, indeed. And a short beer. Well, imagine that. No transfer. Oh, well, must be getting off here anyway. I'm taking potluck tonight with a small group of poker players. Good day, meatball.
So long, jailbait.
Pardon me. That's enough, folks.
Say, Billy, I think Don's got time to sing a number before we get to 14th Street. What you got ready?
How about Deep in a Dream, Don?
Okay, let's go.
Lady, will you move a little to one side so my trombone player can go to work?
I'm sorry, I can't move an inch.
Well, how about bending your elbow a little?
No, thank you. I'm on the wagon.
Didn't mean it. Well, go ahead, Billy. Folks, Don Nova's singing Deep in a Dream.
I've always been a dreamer, for I was born that way, and I was born to love you, keep dreaming of you each day. I dim all the lights and I sink in my chair. The smoke from my cigarette climbs through the air. The walls of my room fade away in the blue, and I'm deep in a dream of you. The smoke makes a stairway for you to descend. You come to my arms, may this bliss never end. For we love anew, just as we used to do, when I'm deep in a dream of you. Then from the ceiling, sweet music comes stealing. We glide through a lover's refrain. You're so appealing that soon I'm revealing my love for you over again. My cigarette burns me, I wake with a start. My hand isn't hurt, but there's pain in my heart. Awake or asleep, every memory I'll keep, deep in a dream of you.
That was beautiful, Don. You ought to sing on the streetcar oftener. You certainly pack 'em in.
Say, Fibber.
What you want, Harpo?
I wanted to ask you if you'd come over to our house tonight and play Santa Claus for my kid brother. I've got the uniform.
Well, why don't you do it?
Oh, he's laying for me, because I gave him an air rifle instead of a .22 last year. Oh. He's even got skyrockets aimed up the chimney.
Oh, I see. He has. Well, what makes you think I'm more fireproof than you? Oh, not that I couldn't do it. I used to be a professional Santa Claus, Harpo. And all the kids would raise Cain if I didn't bring them candy. Candy Cane McGee, I was known as in them days. Candy Cane McGee, the kind and crafty old coot constantly calling on convenient communities with carloads of cakes, cookies, and candies for cunning cusses and covered cribs, capably comforting crying cupies with careful kindness and collections of cotton cats, and considered by cross-country consensus the King Kong of Kris Kringles from the cold crags of Colorado to the crested combers of the Caribbean.
14th Street, I believe. 14th Street, no doubt. Mr. McGee, here comes 14th Street.
Okay, hold it for me, Bud, till I get off. All right, folks, now please let me get out. One side, please. Let me out, please, folks. Don't grab the tricycle, little boy. That's a good boy. Excuse me, Bud, can I get through here? Wow. I'm certainly glad to get off of there. I ain't been squeezed so hard since I made out my income tax. Well, all I got to do is take the tricycle home.
Well, hello there, Fisher. A Merry New Year's and a delightful Yuletides to you, and the same to me, thank you.
Well, how are you, Nick? Come on, walk along with me over at the house. Gee, I'm glad to get the fresh air again after riding in that streetcar.
Sure. Riding in crowded streetcars is not my ideas of a thing to do if I can avoid you. But why are you taking a streetcar when you're having a cute little velocipede you can ride yourself away with?
Oh, this velocipede that's for my little nephew, Nick. Sure had an awful time getting it home, but it's going to be worth it. You got the shopping done for all your kids?
Oh, sure. Saturday nights I'm dressing up in the Kraus Crumble red union suits. And I'm coming down the smokestacks like a stork bringing a new baby. Only I hope not. My little Demetrios is hardly waiting till Santa Claus is starting to drive his team of buffaloes through the snowdrifts.
Not buffaloes, reindeer.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Anyway, I think I'm making myself a very foolish-proof Sandy Kringle, which is only me traveling incognito gown. My red suit is fitting me like the wallpaper on my back.
In short, you think you'll do all right, huh?
No, Fizzer. In shorts, I would freeze my knees off, I should. So you're giving your little Neff Little a velocipede?
Not Neff Little, Nephew.
Well, a little is a few. How old is this kid's being, Fizzer?
Oh, he's just a little tad. He's only... Well, I'll be well, for the... What's the matter with me, anyway?
Well, it's taking me too long to go into that now, Fizzer. What do you think?
You know what I done, Nick?
Huh?
I let a high-pressure salesman sell me this tricycle for my little nephew.
Sure, I think that is a very appropriate Christmas present.
Yeah, but you don't understand, Nick. I just happened to think. I ain't even got a nephew. That's Peppermint anyway.
Fibber will be back just a moment. But now, I think you'll be interested to know that more than 1 million new housewives have started using Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat during the past 2 years. And here's why. Glow Coat is easy to apply. Glow Coat gives linoleum and other floors a shield of bright protection, closing the cracks and pores against dirt and germs. When your kitchen linoleum is wearing a beautiful Glow Coat polish, it'll be as easy to clean as a china plate. You owe it to yourself to learn this modern, labor-saving way of caring for all your floors. Glow Coat assures you less work and more play, and it earns you the reputation of being a wonderful housekeeper. Buy a can of Johnson's Glow Coat tomorrow and insist on the real thing, Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat. And remember, whenever you buy a polish for your floors, your furniture, your linoleum, or your car, you can have special confidence in all the Johnson wax products.
Folks, in addition to thanking Mr. Sam Hearn Schlepperman for being our guest tonight, we want to extend our sincere wishes for a wonderful Christmas to all of you. You've given us the best Christmas present you possibly could by making this the biggest year that the makers of Johnson's wax products ever had. And we hope your new year will be as bright as the floors and furniture you use your wax on. And though Molly can't be with us on the program yet, she wants me to wish you a special Merry Christmas for her. So here it is. Merry Christmas, folks, and good night.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, Racine, Wisconsin, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
Heard on this program was Mutiny in the Nursery from the production Going Place. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The makers of Campbell's Soups present the Campbell Playhouse. Orson Welles, producer. Good evening, listeners. This is Ernest Chappell speaking. Tonight, Orson Welles and the Campbell Playhouse observe a Campbell tradition of long standing. They bring you Charles Dickens' well-loved tale of Yuletide, A Christmas Carol. 4 years ago, the makers of Campbell's Soups went shopping for a Christmas present to give to all their friends. They found it in this story, Charles Dickens' embodiment of the very spirit of Christmas. And they chose well, because throughout the country today, in thousands of homes, it has become an important and beloved Christmas custom to listen to this story. Tonight, this 4th annual presentation is brought to you with a sincere wish that your Christmas may be a happy one, and with the hope that the retelling of the Christmas Carol may help to make it so. And it is more than that, for with this Christmas present to you, Campbell say thank you for your purchases of Campbell's soup throughout the months gone by. At the Christmas season, this becomes especially manifest. Everywhere, grocers see their shelves of Campbell's soups dwindle more rapidly now than at any other time of the year. It used to be thought that the demand increased in preparation for the Christmas feast, but really it isn't that alone. Women like to have plenty of good soups on hand all through the holidays so that they can serve piping hot, nourishing platefuls at any family mealtime. The youngsters are on the go all day long, making the most of the Christmas vacation, and soup can be ready for them in a jiffy. There's health and happiness in good hot soup. Your grocer has Campbell soups, 21 delicious kinds, awaiting your selection.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was one of the house of the lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was, that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. Since the days of Caesar Augustus, all people have celebrated by joy the great joy which shall be to all people. For unto us was born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And on this day, at least in the calendar of our year, we affirm the glory of our God by the laughter of our children. Every nation, according to its character and its taste, by some gift of gaiety, has enriched the tradition of this our solemnest festival. And because America is what it is, we are the fortunate heirs of the accumulated customs of almost 2,000 years of keeping Christmas. The best songs that have been sung are sung by us. The best games that have been played, we play, and the best stories ever told are ours to tell. The storytelling has persisted as a Christmas ritual, in spite of the printing press, a ceremony as hilarious and as serious as hanging a stocking, dressing the tree, and kissing under the mistletoe. And because Christmas is first of all for children, Christmas stories are fairy stories first of all. It is mildly surprising that the best of them all, which we're telling again for you tonight, is for everybody, and turns out to be a ghost story. I have endeavored, writes its author on its title page, I have endeavored in this ghostly little story to raise the ghost of an idea, which will not put my readers out of humor with themselves, with each other, with the season, or with me. May it haunt their houses pleasantly, and no one wish to lay it. It is signed, your faithful friend and servant, Charles Dickens. Marley was dead to begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead. Of course he did. Scrooge and Marley were partners. I don't know how many years. Oh, He was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, secret and self-contained. Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was a cold, bleak, biting evening, foggy withal, and he could hear the people in the court outside go wheezing up and down, beating their hands upon their breasts and stamping their feet upon the pavement to warm them. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open, that he might keep his eyes upon the clerk, Bob Cratchit, who in a cold and dismal little cell beyond worked at his ledgers.
29, 9 and carry 2, 13, 17, 7 and carry 1, and...
Close the door, Cratchit. Shut out that infernal noise.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Confound their impudence. Cratchit.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
You ought to stop at Fothergill's on your way home tonight and collect that 17 shillings and sixpence he owed me since Michaelmas, and tell him I shall have the constable over here if he doesn't pay it once.
Well, sir, Mr. Fothergill's wife is...
What do I care about his wife?
Well,
I want my 17 and 6.
I just thought it being Christmas...
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Bob. Oh, Mr. Fred. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Uncle. Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Huh? Bah. Humbug.
Humbug? Christmas a humbug, Uncle? I'm sure you don't mean that.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right of you to be merry? What season have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Well, come then, Uncle. What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be? I live in such a world of fools. What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? Merry Christmas. A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of his own holly through his heart. But,
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way. Let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? But you don't keep it.
Hey, let me leave it alone then. What do you want, nephew? Christmas gift, I have no doubt.
I came to wish you a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Merry Christmas. Much good may Christmas do you. Much good has it ever done you.
There are many things from which I've derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say, Uncle. Christmas among the rest. But I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. Therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
God bless Christmas. Hurrah!
Let me hear another sound from you out there, Bob Cratchit. You keep your Christmas by losing your situation. That's you, nephew. I wonder you don't go into Parliament. Talk enough nonsense.
Don't be angry, Uncle. I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, I've tried. Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And Happy New Year, too.
Humbug.
Merry Christmas to you, Bob, and the missus. And to Tiny Tim.
Thank you, Mr. Fred. Same to you, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day, Bob. Merry Christmas, Uncle Ebenezer.
What little nonsense. Bummery. Talking of Christmas, not a sixpence to jingle against another in his trousers pocket. Are you there, Bob Cratchit?
Yes, sir. Yes,
what are you doing in there?
Oh, I was only putting a bit more coal on the fire, Mr. Scrooge, seeing it's so cold in here, sir.
You put that coal back in the scuttle.
Yes, sir.
Fire indeed. I can tell you, if you use coal at that rate, you and I will soon part in company, Bob Cratchit. You understand that? Many a young fellow like your situation, you know.
I'm sorry, sir. My fingers were getting a little stiff with the cold.
Then put on your mittens.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Someone at the door. See you it is.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas. Yes, sir?
This is the firm of Scrooge and Marley.
Yes, sir.
I should like to see the head of the firm, if I may.
Oh, very good, sir. Step this way, please.
What is it?
A gentleman to see you, Mr. Scrooge.
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Well, Marley's been dead these 7 years tonight.
Oh.
And I'm Scrooge, though I doubt that'll be any pleasure to you, sir.
I'm sure it will. Now, Mr. Scrooge, at this season of the year, it's only fitting that we who are more fortunate should raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. You may not believe it, sir, but many thousands are now in want of common necessities, and hundreds of thousands are in want of comfort, sir.
Are there no prisons?
There are plenty of prisons, sir.
And the workhouses, they're still in operation, I trust?
I wish I could say they are not, but they are, sir.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor, then?
Both very busy.
I'm very glad to hear that. I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. Now, sir, what do you want with me?
Well, Mr. Scrooge, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund for the poor and destitute. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous, sir?
I wish to be let alone. I don't make merry at Christmas time, and I can't afford to help make idle people merry. I help to support the establishment and take care of the poor. They cost enough, but those who are badly off go there.
Well, many can't go there, sir, and many would rather die.
Let them do so and decrease the surplus population. Besides, how do I know that's true?
You might know it someday, Mr. Scrooge.
Not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, sir. Cratchit, show this gentleman out. Cratchit!
Yes, sir. This way, sir, please. Oh, excuse me, sir. I couldn't help overhearing. I should like to contribute tuppence. It's all I can afford. But if there are others in worse situation than I...
You're a generous fellow. I wish I might say the same of your employer.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good day. Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon, sir. And a Merry Christmas. 15, 24, 31, 1 and carry 3. 17, 22, 33, 3 and carry 3. 4, 7, 8,
Cratchit!
12, 13.
Cratchit!
Oh, yes, sir.
Cratchit. Too late to have you go to Fothergill's. He'll be closed up for Christmas like these other fools. And we'll close up this place now.
Yes, sir. It is getting a little dark. Hard to see the figures.
I suppose you want the entire day tomorrow, Cratchit.
If quite convenient, sir.
Not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to top half a crown of your wages for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound.
Well, sir...
And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year.
Yeah,
sir.
once a year. Once a year, indeed. A fine excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. I suppose you must have the whole day. I'll see that you're here all the earlier the next morning. You understand?
Oh, I will, sir. I will. Well, good night, sir. Good night, good night. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Bah!
The office was closed in a twinkling, and Bob Cratchit, with the long ends of his white comforter dangling below his waist, for he boasted no greatcoat, went down the slide on Cornhill 20 times in honor of it being Christmas Eve, and then ran home to Camden Town as hard as he could pelt to play with his family at Blind Man's Buff. Scrooge, on the other hand, took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers, and spent the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went home to his dismal house. The yard was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, had to grope with his hands. The fog and frost hung about the black old gateway of the house. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. Before he shut his heavy door, he walked through his rooms to see that all was right. Sitting room, bedroom, lumber room, all as they should be. Nobody under the table, nobody under the sofa. Small fire in the grate of his bedroom, spoon and basin ready, and a little saucepan of gruel upon the hob. Nobody under the bed, nobody in the closet. Closed his door and locked himself in. Double locked himself in. Then took off his cravat, put on his dressing gown and slippers and his nightcap, and sat down before the fire to take his gruel. It was a very low fire indeed, nothing on such a bitter night, not even enough to kindle a glow of light in a cheerless room. Scrooge stretched his numb fingers over the wretched fire. Then he saw something that made him draw them back. Slowly the meager embers dissolved before his astonished eyes, dissolved into a face, a ghostly face, but one that Scrooge recognized as the face of Marley. Marley, his partner, dead these 7 years. It was not angry or ferocious, but looked at Scrooge as Marley used to look, with ghostly spectacles turned up on its ghostly forehead. The hairs were curiously stirred, like flames blown from a chimney draft. And through the death-cold eyes, Scrooge saw the buttons on the back of his coat. Humbug. 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 Scrooge got up and walked away from the fire. As he turned, his glance happened to rest upon a bell. A disused bell that hung in the corner of the room. It was with great astonishment and with a strange, inexplicable dread that as he looked, he saw this bell begin to swing. Slowly at first. The same face he had seen in the fire, Marley's face. And Marley's body coming straight at him through the door. A body pale as the bluish smoke that comes out of a chimney on a cold day. A body so transparent that Scrooge, looking through his waistcoat, could see his watch in his waistcoat pocket. The chain he drew was clasped about his middle. It was long and wound about him like a tail. And it was made of cash boxes, keys, padlocks, and heavy purses wrought in steel. Even now, Scrooge would not believe his eyes. The ghost advanced towards him.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Marley, what do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then? You're particular for a ghost.
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Jacob Marley, but you're dead. You died 7 years ago this very night.
You do not believe in me, then?
I do not.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There may be more gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Humbug, I tell you. Humbug.
At this, the spirit, taking the bandage off from it round its head, as if it were too warm to wear indoors, its lower jaw dropped upon its breast.
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me now?
I do, Jacob, I do. Why do you walk the earth? Why do you come to me, Jacob?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide to witness what it cannot share but might have shared on earth and turn to happiness.
Tell me, Jacob, well, what is that chain you wear around you?
I wear the chain I forged in life. Cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers, purses. I made it link by my own free will. Is its pattern strange to you, Ebenezer? Yours was as heavy and as long as this 7 years ago. And you've labored on it since, Ebenezer.
Jacob, old Jacob Marley, tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give, Ebenezer. No rest, no peace. Incessant torture of remorse.
But you're always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business. Mankind was my business. Charity, mercy, benevolence, they were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business.
Jacob.
Hear me, Ebenezer Scrooge. My time is nearly gone.
I will, Jacob, but don't be hard on me. Speak to me, Jacob, but please don't be flowery.
I'm here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
You were always a good friend to me, Jacob, thank you. And go on, Jacob.
Listen to me, Ebenezer. You will be haunted by these spirits.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visit, Ebenezer Scrooge, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1. Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night. Look to see me no more. And look that for your own sake you remember what has passed between us.
Marley! Jacob Marley!
Scrooge awoke. He was lying on his bed fully dressed, when suddenly the curtains of his bed were drawn aside, and Scrooge found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them, as close to it as I am now to you, and I am standing in the spirit at your elbow. It was a strange figure, like a child, yet not so like a child as like an old man. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it, and the tenderest bloom was on the skin. The arms were long and muscular, the hands the same, as if its hold were of uncommon strength. Its dress was of the purest white, trimmed with summer flowers. It held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, but the strangest thing about it was that from the crown of its head there sprang a clear jet of light, by which all this was visible, and which was doubtless the occasion of its using in its duller moments a great extinguisher for a cap, which it now held under its arm.
Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What business brings you here? What do you want of me?
Your welfare. Ebenezer Scrooge, rise and walk with me.
No, not the window. I'm mortal. I fall down.
Bear but a touch of my hand, bear upon your heart, and you shall be upheld in more than this. Come, follow me. Let us go.
They stood upon an open country road, with fields on either hand. The city had entirely vanished. The darkness and the mist had vanished with it, for it was a clear, cold winter day with snow upon the ground. They walked along the road. Scrooge began to recognize every gate, every post, every tree, until a little market town appeared in the distance with its bridge, its church, and winding river. Some shaggy ponies now were seen trotting towards them with boys upon their backs or in sleighs. And all these boys were in great spirits and showed to each other that they were happy, shouting through the broad fields until they were so full of music that the crisp air laughed to hear it. And there stood old Scrooge in his dressing gown and slippers and nightcap on the hill, and beside him the spirit of Christmas past. And now the spirit spoke again.
Not all the boys and girls were singing on that Christmas day, were they, Ebenezer Scrooge? See the bleak building over there?
That building? I was a boy there. Yeah, I went to school in that place.
You recollect the way?
I could walk it blindfold.
Strange you have forgotten it for so many years. Come, let us go closer. Look through the window into this cold, barren room. What do you see, Ebenezer Scrooge?
I see a boy.
A solitary child, neglected by his friends, sitting alone, a book open before him.
Yes, I see. I know that boy. I was lonely. Poor boy.
Your lip is trembling, Scrooge. And what's that on your cheek?
Nothing. I wish... it's too late now.
What is the matter?
Nothing. There were some boys singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given them something, that's all.
That is all? Come, Ebenezer Scrooge. Let us see another Christmas.
Know it? This is the counting house where I was apprenticed.
Listen.
Come now! Scrooge up, Daddy! It's my old master, precious heart. My old master alive again. And we, his clerks, so full of joy on Christmas Eve.
Look, Scrooge. Look at that carefree young man with the light heart and the gay smile. Do you recognize him, Ebenezer? What is the matter, Ebenezer?
Nothing. Nothing particular.
Something, I think.
No. Only I should like to be able to say a word or two. To my clerk, Bob Cratchit. That's all. That's all.
My time grows short, and we have yet another journey to make.
Where now?
Come.
Again, Scrooge saw himself in a room that was vaguely familiar. He was an older man, a man in the prime of his life. And he was not alone, but sat by the side of a fair young girl. There were tears in her eyes.
Very little, I know. Another idol has displaced me. And if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
Well, listen to me. There's nothing the world so hard on as poverty, and yet nothing it pretends to condemn so much as the pursuit of wealth.
The world again. You fear the world too much, Abner.
Belle, have I changed toward you?
When we were engaged, we were both poor.
Was it better then? Belle, was it better to be poor?
Better at least to be happy. You're changed. You were another man then.
I was a boy. Do you blame me because I've grown wiser? Have I ever tried to break our engagement?
In words, no. Never.
In what then?
In a changed nature. In an altered spirit. In everything that made my love of any value in your sight. So, I release you from your promise.
Bill, I love you still.
Oh, at first it may cause you pain to lose me. A very brief pain. But soon it will be dim, like a half-remembered dream. An unprofitable dream. And you will be glad to be awake from such a dream. May you be happy in the life you have chosen, Ebenezer. For the love of him you once were.
Spirit, it is enough. Show me no more.
These were shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are. Do not blame me.
No more.
One shadow more. Come.
The relentless ghost pinioned him in both his arms and forced him to observe what happened next. They were in a room, not very large or handsome, but full of comfort. All around them were the voices of children talking and laughing. And before the window fire sat a beautiful young girl, so like the last that Scrooge believed it was the same, until he saw her, the girl he had been betrothed to, now a handsome middle-aged woman sitting with her husband at their own fireside.
Do you see this man, Ebenezer Scrooge? This man might have been you. And that girl might have been your daughter, Ebenezer Scrooge. He might have called you father. He might have been a springtime in the haggard winter of your life.
Spirit, let me go. Show me no more.
Listen now while they speak, Ebenezer.
Oh, I saw an old friend of yours today.
Who was it?
Yes.
How can I? Oh, I know. Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed his office window. It wasn't shuttered, and there was a candle inside, so I couldn't help seeing him. His partner lies at the point of death, I hear. And there Scrooge sat, all alone. Quite alone in the world, I do believe.
Spirit, reward me. Haunt me no more. Leave me. Take me back. Take me back.
In his anguish, Scrooge began to struggle with the ghost of Christmas past. The lights in the crown of its head burned high and bright. Scrooge, in a last desperate effort, tore the extinguisher cap from its head, and by a sudden action, pressed it down upon its head. And Scrooge was conscious of being exhausted. and overcome by irresistible drowsiness. And further, of being in his own bedroom. He gave the cap a parting squeeze, in which his hand relaxed and had barely time to reel to bed before he sank into a heavy sleep. The stroke of 1 awakened him and sat him bolt upright in his bed.
We pause now for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. You are listening to the 4th annual presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, brought to you by the makers of Campbell's Soups. We return you now to the Campbell Playhouse and Orson Welles.
On the stroke of 1, Scrooge had awakened suddenly, and had sat him bolt upright in his own bed. He remembered the words of Marley's ghost, and wondered from which direction the second specter would appear. He drew aside the curtains and established a sharp lookout all around the bed. At that moment, nothing between a baby and a rhinoceros would have astonished him very much. Now, being prepared for almost anything, he was not by any means prepared for nothing, and consequently, when no shape appeared, he was taken with a violent fit of trembling. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. A quarter of an hour went by, yet nothing came. And all this time he sat upon the bed with his nightcap upon his head, the very core and center of a blaze of ruddy light which streamed upon it. Being only light, this was more alarming than a dozen ghosts. As he was powerless to make out what it meant, he began to think that the source of this ghostly light might be in the adjoining room, from whence, on further tracing, it seemed to shine. He got up softly and shuffled in his slippers to the door. It was his own sitting room, there was no doubt about that. But it had undergone a surprising transformation. The walls and ceiling were so hung with living green that it looked a perfect grove, from every part of which bright gleaming berries glistened, and such a mighty blaze went roaring up the chimney as had never been known in Scrooge's time, or for many and many a winter season gone. Heaped upon the floor to form a kind of throne were turkeys, geese, game, poultry, great joints of meat, sucking pigs, long wreaths of sausages, mince pies, plum puddings, barrels of oysters, red-hot chestnuts, and seething bowls of punch that made the chamber dim with their delicious steam. And in easy state upon this couch, there sat a jolly giant, glorious to see, who bore a glowing torch in shape not unlike Plenty's horn, and held it up high up to shed its light on Scrooge as he came peeping round the door.
Come in, Ebenezer Scrooge. You know me better, man.
Yeah?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You've never seen the like of me before.
Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last time on compulsion, and learned a lesson which is working now. If tonight you have anything to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe, Ebenezer Scrooge. Touch my robe.
The room vanished, so did the fire. The ruddy glow, the hour of night, vanished. Sunlight brushed them as they streamed through the clear morning air. The second spectre flew at a more leisurely speed, and Scrooge had time to observe people below him shoveling snow on the city roofs, calling out to one another from the parapets, and now and then pelting each other with snowballs.
In the streets below them, the poulterers' shops were still half open, and the fruiterers were radiant in their holiday glory. Scrooge and his ghostly guide circled the tall spires as the people, all good people, all to church and chapel. And there below them lay Camden Town with its squalid streets of ugly frame houses. Of all these dwellings, the ghost selected the humblest for their visit. Scrooge, by now past all surprise, recognized Bob Cratchit's wife, dressed in a twice-turned gown but brave in ribbons, busily laying the table. Assisting her was Belinda Cratchit, second of her daughters, also brave in ribbons, while Master Peter Cratchit plunged a fork into the saucepan of potatoes. And now two smaller Cratchits, boy and girl, came tearing in, screaming that outside the baker's they had smelled a goose and known it for their own, and now basking in luxurious thoughts of sage and onions. And three more young Cratchits danced about the table. Then once more the door opened.
Quiet, children, quiet. Why, bless your heart alive, Martha, my dear. How late you are. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Mother. Merry Christmas. How late you are, Martha.
Oh, we had a deal of work to finish up last night, and we had to clear away this morning.
Well, never mind, so long as you're here now. Sit you down before the fire and have a warm. Lord bless you.
But where's Father?
He's been to church with Tiny Tim. He'll be along directly.
How is Tiny Tim, Mother? Any better at all?
Sometimes I think he is, and sometimes I think, oh, dear God, if anything should happen to Tiny Tim. If Tiny Tim should die.
Mother, you mustn't even think of such a thing.
Here they come!
Merry Christmas, Father, and Tim.
Merry Christmas, Martha.
And there was Bob Cratchit, with at least 3 feet of comfort, exclusive of the fringe, hanging down before him, his threadbare clothes darned up and brushed to look seasonable, and Tiny Tim upon his shoulder. Poor Tiny Tim. He carried a little crutch and had his limbs supported by an iron frame.
How did little Tim behave in church, Bob?
Oh, I like church, Mother. Oh, they sang the nicest hymns. The people were so kind to me. It was such fun riding home on Daddy's shoulder.
He behaved as good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me coming home that he hoped people saw him in church because he was lame, and it might be pleasant for them to remember on Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Tim, you darling.
Mother.
Oh, yes, children, all ready. Come, take your places and wait your turn. There's plenty of stuffing and dressing and plum pudding for all of you. Now, Martha, you take care of Tiny Tim. That's right. And see that he eats plenty. He must get strong and well.
Now shall we say grace?
Yes, Bob.
Our Father who art in heaven, we thank thee for the daily bread which in thy mercy thou dost give to us. Bless us this Christmas day, keep us all together, so that for many years to come we may unite here to do thy will and praise thy name. Amen.
Amen.
And now, my dears, with such a dinner, a toast. A Merry Christmas to us all, and God bless it.
God bless us, everyone.
And now to Mr. Scrooge. I'll give you a toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. Who pays you all 15 shillings a week? I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast on, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Well, it should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Bob. Nobody knows it better than you, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
Well, I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
And I say God bless him too, Mother. And everyone.
There was nothing of high mark in all this. They were not a handsome family, these Cratchits. They were not well-dressed. Their shoes were far from being waterproof. Their clothes were scanty and had known, very likely, the inside of a pawnbroker's. But they were happy, grateful,
pleased with one another and contented with the time. And when at last they faded, Scrooge had his eye upon them, and especially on Tiny Tim, until the last.
Spirit! Spirit! Tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved.
No, kind spirit. Say he will be spared. Say he will live.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Many calls Scrooge made that night with the ghost of Christmas presents. Now he stood upon a bleak and desert moor where monstrous masses of rude stone were cast about as though it were the burial place of giants. Down in the west, the setting sun had left a streak of fiery red which glared upon the desolation for an instant like a sullen eye, and then was lost in the thick gloom of darkest night. A light shone from the window of a hut. Passing through the wall of mud and stone, they found a cheerful company assembled around a glowing fire. An old man and woman, with their children and their children's children, all decked out gaily in their holiday attire.
In this great Ebenezer Scrooge, the miners live who labor in the bowels of the earth. Still, they know me. You hear?
Spirit did not tarry here, but bade Scrooge hold his robe. And passing on above the moor, they sped on. Whither? Not to see. To see. To Scrooge's horror. Looking back, he saw the last of the land. Below him were the waves breaking upon a frightful range of rocks. But built upon a dismal reef of sunken stones, some league or so from shore, there stood a solitary lighthouse. Great heaps of seaweed clung to its base, and storm birds, born of the wind, rose and fell about it like the waves they skimmed. Again the ghost sped on above the dark and heaving sea, on and on until they lighted on a ship. They stood beside the helmsman at the wheel, the lookout in the bow, the men who had the watch, dark, ghostly figures in their several stations. Much they saw, and far they went, and many places they visited, but always with a happy end. The spirits stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful. On foreign lands, and they were close at home. By poverty, and it was rich. In almshouse, hospital, and jail, where vain man in his little brief authority had not made fast the door and barred the spirit out, he left his blessing. It was a long night, if it were only a night. And it was strange, too, that while Scrooge remained unaltered, in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
My life upon this globe is very brief, Ebenezer. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. Hark. The hour is come.
Not yet. There are still more things I wish to learn.
These you will learn from still another spirit. Still another spirit, Ebenezer.
Scrooge looked about him, the ghost. It had vanished. And he found himself once more in his bed, in his dressing gown and his nightcap on his head. He heard the clock strike. And then he remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley, and lifting up his eyes, beheld a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, coming toward him like a mist along the ground. spirit slowly, gravely, silently approached. In the very air through which it moved seemed to scatter gloom and mystery.
I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Ebenezer Scrooge, I am about to show you the shadows of the things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us.
Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I've seen. Lead on! Lead on! The night is waning fast, and it is precious time.
Scrooge followed in the shadow of its dress, which bore him up, he thought, and carried him along. And suddenly, they were in a room which Scrooge seemed to remember having seen before, where a woman and a child were.
Oh, my son. My little son. Tiny Tim. I loved him so.
Mother, dear. You mustn't. It's almost time for Father to be home. Don't let him see you crying.
Yes, Mother. He's late tonight. He walks slower than he used to. And yet, I've known him to walk very fast indeed, with Tiny Tim on his shoulder.
So have I, Mother.
But he was light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble at all. Bob.
Good evening, my dear.
You're late, Bob.
I'm sorry, my dear. I went to the churchyard today. I wish you could have gone with me. It would have done your heart good to see how sweet and green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised Tiny Tim we'd walk there on a Sunday.
Oh, Bob.
It's God's will, my dear.
Oh, my son, my little son. Tiny Tim. I loved him so. Oh.
Scrooge tried to break through the shade that held him to talk with Bob Cratchit, to speak some word of comfort, but the sleeve of the ghost of Christmas yet to come passed in front of him and shut the family from his view. And now they were in an obscure part of the town where Scrooge had never been before. The ways were foul and narrow, the shops and houses wretched, the people drunken, slipshod, ugly. The whole quarter reeked with crime, with filth and misery. Deep in this den of infamous resort, there was a low-browed, beetling pawn shop where iron, old rags, and bottles were bought. And there was an old charwoman standing at the counter.
Undo my bundle, Joe.
Old Scrooge didn't buy him nothing catching, eh?
Don't be afraid. I ain't so fond of his company that I'd take a chance at that. You may look through that shirt till your eyes ache, and you won't find a hole in it. The best he had, and a fine one, too. He'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What you call a wasting of it, Mrs. Gilbert?
Putting it on him to be buried in. Somebody was fool enough to do it, but I took it off him again. If calico ain't good enough for such a purpose, it ain't good enough for anything. It can't look uglier than he did in that one, the old horror. And here's his bed curtains. Small use he'll have for him where he's going.
That's the truest word, whatever you ever spoke, Mrs. Gilbert.
So this is the end of him, you see. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive to profit us when he was dead.
The phantom spread its dark robe before him for a moment like a wing, and withdrawing it revealed another place, a churchyard walled in by houses, overrun by grass and weeds, choked up with too much burying, fat with repleted appetite. A worthy place, The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down toward it, and following the finger, read upon the stone of the neglected grave his own name.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Spirit, am I the man who lay dead upon that bed?
The spirit pointed from the grave to him and back again, and the upper portion of its deep black garment was contracted for an instant in its folds, as if it had inclined its head.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
And then Scrooge saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrank, collapsed, and dwindled into a bedpost. Yes, and the bedpost was his own, the bed was his own, the room was his own, best and happiest of all. The time before him was his own to make amends in. Running to the window, he opened it. He put up his head. No fog, no mist, clear, bright, jovial, stirring cold. Cold, piping for the blood to dance in, golden sunlight, heavenly air, sweet, fresh air, merry bells. Oh, glorious, glorious. Boy, what's today?
Hey, what's that, sir?
What day is this, my fine fella?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day? Christmas Day that I haven't missed it. It's done it all in one night. All in one night. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all the world.
Scrooge was early at his office. He went early for a reason. He could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. That was the thing he'd set his heart upon, and he did it. Yes, he did. The clock struck 9. No Bob. 1:15, no Bob. Scrooge sat with his door wide open that he might see him come in. At last he came. Hat was off before he opened the door, his comforter, too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock.
8 and 7 and 15 carries a 1, 24 carries a 2, 31 and 5, 36, 4, 7.
Hello? You, Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
Cratchit? Step this way, Cratchit, please.
Yes, sir.
Cratchit. What do you mean by coming in at this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
Here you are. I think you are.
It's only once a year, Mr. Scrooge. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand this sort of thing any longer. Therefore, Bob Cratchit, I'm about to raise your salary.
Are you quite yourself, sir?
No, thank heaven, I'm not quite myself. Merry Christmas, Bob. Merry Christmas, my good fellow. A Merry Christmas, and I've given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary, and we'll see what we can do for Tiny Tim and the rest of your family. We'll discuss it this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop, Bob. Make up the fires, make 'em up, and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another eye. Bob Cratchit.
And Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more, and to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us and of all of us. And so Tiny Tim observed. God bless us, everyone.
Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing glory to the Lord. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, sing glory to the Lord. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah.
have just heard the 4th annual presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, offered for your enjoyment by the makers of Campbell's Soups. And here is Orson Welles.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first year I've shared in this happy tradition of the Campbell Playhouse, and I'm only sorry that very, very grand actor, Lionel Barrymore, was not able to come to New York this Christmas to be part of our broadcast tonight. We're depending upon him to be with us next year, as he's been in the past, and I'm looking forward to it. And now, a word about next week's show. Next Friday night, I shall have the great pleasure of welcoming as our guest star one of the most elusive stars in motion pictures, Miss Katharine Hepburn. Miss Hepburn, making her first radio appearance in more than 4 years, joins me in a dramatization of Ernest Hemingway's greatest novel, Farewell to Arms. Ladies and gentlemen, the night before Christmas, and all through the Campbell Playhouse, not a creature is stirring that doesn't wish you a Merry Christmas. This goes for all of us, for my sponsor, for myself, for all of us, from Johnny Dietz, who runs the machinery in the control room, to Miss Hess, who types the Campbell Playhouse scripts. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from all of us to all of you. Merry Christmas. Benny Herman and his band of merry melodians wish you a Merry Christmas. Ora Nichols and her demon crew of sound technicians wish you a Merry Christmas. Orson Welles and his considerable aggregation of dramatic talent, including Hiram Sherman, who played Bob Cratchit, Ray Collins, who was the man who asked for alms, Frank Reddick, who was the ghost of Christmas yet to come, Eustace Wyatt, who was the ghost of Christmas present, Arthur Anderson, who was the ghost of Christmas past, Al Shirley, who was Marley's ghost, Alice Frost, who was the charwoman, Brenda Forbes, who was Mrs. Cratchit, Joseph Cotton, who was Nephew Fred, Anna Stafford, who was Belle, Kingsley Colton, who was Tiny Tim, and George Spelman, who was Mr. Feswig. All wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas! And finally, as Tiny Tim says,
God bless us, everyone.
Don't fail to listen in next Friday night when Orson Welles brings to the Campbell Playhouse Miss Katharine Hepburn in his own dramatization of Ernest Hemingway's great novel, A Farewell to Arms. This is Ernest Chappell wishing you all a very Merry Christmas on behalf of the makers of Campbell's Soups.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The makers of Postum, the favorite mealtime drink in millions of American homes, present your favorite radio friends, Lum and Abner. In Dickens' famous story, A Christmas Carol, remember the grouchy, mean-tempered old man, Mr. Scrooge? Well, even today, I think we run across a lot of people almost as bad-tempered as old Scrooge, don't you? And the pity of it is that most cranky people don't want to be that way. Usually, they're what doctors call nervous irritables, people who suffer from indigestion or headaches or can't sleep at night. Any one of those symptoms may mean that you have coffee nerves. For while many people can drink coffee without becoming jittery, many others cannot. If coffee nerves are making a nervous irritable of you, switch to Postum. For Postum contains no caffeine or stimulant of any kind, and it's as delicious as it is satisfying, with a cheering aroma and distinctive, mellow flavor that is Postum's own. For your convenience, it comes in two forms: Postum cereal, the drink you make by boiling or percolating, and instant Postum, mixed instantly in the cup. So, if coffee nerves upset your digestion, keep you awake, or make you feel headachy, switch to Postum with your meals. See how you improve the first few days. See if you aren't less of a nervous irritable at the end of 2 weeks, and after you've given Postum a full 30-day test, see if you're not again a cheerful, good-natured person. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, it's Christmas time in Pine Ridge, and all business and other activities have been cast aside in preparation for celebrating the holiday. A heavy snow has fallen, and it is now after dark. 3 old fellows, Lum, Abner, and Grandpappy Spears, are trudging through the snow on a real Christmas mission. Listen.
Hey, you're sure we're headed right now, are you, Grandpap?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know this the way all right. Doc Miller rode his horse over here. You see his tracks there in the snow.
Oh, yeah, them his.
Well, it must be the old Gaddis place then.
Yeah, that's just about where it's at. But there ain't nothing but the barn left there now that the house burnt down 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, Doc says it's due east from that road where we turned off there. Due east?
Yeah, which way is east? I ain't paid no attention to the directions here.
Wait a minute. Whereabouts is the East Star?
There it is, right ahead of us.
Yeah, we're going right, man. Don't worry about that. Yeah, we can just follow the East Star.
Yeah, that ought to lead us to it, yeah.
How did you find out about these folks, Grandpap?
Well, Doc Miller and his woman had supper over at our place, and we were sitting there visiting after we got done eating, and directly the telephone rung and told Doc to get right on over here. Well, who done the calling?
Oh, some fella named Joe something or another. I forget what he did call his name.
Uh-huh.
He went over to some neighbor's house to call. Said they'd been into the county seat to pay their taxes, and there weren't no room at the hotel, so they come on out here to this old barn to spend the night.
Well, this ain't fitting weather to have to stay out in the barn, I'll say that.
And they said they were sort of expecting the baby to be born tonight, huh?
Yeah, that's the reason they called Doc Miller.
Yeah, what's the matter, Abner?
Doggys, my arm's getting tired here, feller.
Well, here, let me carry them blankets a while, and you carry this oil heater.
It's plumb wore out.
Is that box of groceries getting heavy, Grandpap?
No, I'm all right, Lum.
You ought to be there directly anyhow.
Yeah, this snow tires a body out walking through it, you know it?
Yeah, well, maybe we're walking a little fast for you, Abner.
Yeah, slow down a little here, fella.
Here, you take the lantern.
Yeah, let me get hold of the thing. Yeah, that is it. Wait.
Mighty thought of you fellas to come over here at night. Sort of hate to call you to get out a night like this. But after the doc left, me and the woman got to talking about how pitiful it was that couple was having to stay out here in this barn. Nothing to eat and all.
Why, sure. I'm just glad you called me, Grandpap. Just proud to have a chance to help.
Yeah, this makes it seem more like Christmas to me, doing for somebody else.
Why, sure.
You know, you just can't do things to make other folks happy without making yourself happy at the same time. I've always said that. Trouble with a lot of us, we sort of lose the Christmas idea altogether. Think too much about ourselves. The real Christmas spirit is the happiness we get out of making other folks happy.
Well, yes, it is. Now, there we was, sitting there at home, busy romping to what we was enjoying ourselves. These folks out here spending the night in the old barn this way. No, there just wouldn't have been no Christmas to it if you hadn't have called us up, Grandpappy, sure wouldn't.
Well, I knowed I could depend on you, feller. Now, man, if it's the old Gaddis place, we ought to be able to see it from the top of this hill here. Wait a minute. Believe that's the barn yonder, ain't it?
Yeah, that's right where they're at, sure as the world. Well, now, that's due east from where we was at, all right, for There's the east star right over the top of the barn yonder.
Yeah, there's Doc's horse tied to the fence there, too.
Yep, believe it is. Yep, believe it is.
See the light shining through the cracks in the walls.
Yeah. Yes, sir, now that's a shame that them folks never let some of us know they needed a place to stay. Why, we've got plenty of room over there at our place. Just been glad to have them, glad to have.
Well, this feller that called Doc said they's looking for a place to stay and seen this barn weren't being used, so they just put up there for the night.
Uh-huh. Whereabouts do they live, Grandpap? Did he say?
Why, yeah, they're from over about Pleasant Valley, Summers, Abner.
Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, he told Doc he never had no cash money, taking every nickel he had to pay his taxes, but said if he'd make the call for him, why, he'd work it out quick as he could. Well, old Doc never refused a call in his life, I don't reckon.
No. I've knowed him to get up in the dead of night in the worst kind of weather to go call on the sick. When he knowed before he went, he never would get no pay for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what we would do without old Doc here in this community.
Oh, he's a pillar, he is.
Well, I see some that says his methods is a little old-fashioned, but granny's I'll take my chances with him every time. Well, he's pulled me through the shadows time and again.
I've always said that Doc never practiced medicine for what money he got out of it. As much as he does for the good he can be to his fellow man. I've always said it.
No, sir, if there ever was a man that's got to preserve seed in a better world, it's old Doc Miller.
Yes, he has.
We better not be talking too loud, fellas. We don't want to disturb him now.
No. Let's be as quiet as we can here, man.
You got to let Doc know we're here somewhere or other.
Yeah.
Granny, I'm wore to a frazzle.
I'm too. I don't know whether I'm out of breath or got too much.
Wore to a frazzle. I reckon it won't hurt nothing to tap on the door sort of gentle, will it?
No. Go ahead, Lon. They might be needing this oil stove in there.
I don't hear a sound in there.
Well, I don't believe you knock quite loud enough, Lon. Maybe they never hear
Wait
you.
a minute. Here comes somebody at the door. Hey, howdy, Doc.
Oh, hello there. Well, what are you three old codgers doing out here this time of the night?
Well, we just got to thinking after you left, Doctor. These folks might be needing something.
Yeah, Doc, we brung an oil stove and some bed covers.
Yeah, and here's a box of groceries, too.
Well, now, they can certainly use them. Haven't any heat of any kind in there. Using what little hay was left in there for a bed, piled it all up in the manger, and made a pretty good bed, but now these covers will come in very handy.
Good. How is the lady, Doc?
Oh, getting along as well as could be expected, Lom. Here now, I'll take these things on in and have her husband light this heater and warm the place up a little. You men better stay out here for a little while.
Oh, yeah, sure. You go ahead, Doc. We wait out here. If there's anything we can do, Doc, why, just holler.
It's all right, thank you, Grandpa.
Doc, just a minute. What kind of work does this feller do?
Oh, why, he said a while ago that he was a carpenter by trade, Lom.
Carpenter?
Yes, I said he'd been out of work for quite a while, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here now, I better get back in.
Oh, yeah.
Said he was a carpenter, huh?
Yeah. I was just thinking, Abner, we've been talking about having a loading platform built there for the back door down to the store. I think it'd be a pretty good idea to just hire this feller to do a little fixing up around the store there for us.
Why, yeah, we was talking about putting some shelving across the back there, too.
Yeah.
Huh? Might just let him do that while he's at it.
Well, he'll want to be nigh his wife and baby for a few days now, I reckon.
Oh, sure.
Quick as Doc thinks it's safe for him to be moved, I'm going to insist on him coming right on over there at our place and staying.
Well, now, that'd be the best place in the world for him, Grandpa. Aunt Charity could take better care of him than anybody I know.
Oh, my, yes, she get a sight of enjoyment out of looking after that baby, I know. Just loves children.
Oh. Yeah, that woman of yours, Grandpapa's mothered every young'un in the community, I reckon.
Yes, sir, I was just thinking here, man. Sort of funny. Here we are, three old codgers, getting along in years, standing around out here waiting for a little baby to be born. It's sort of like as if we was waiting for somebody to take our place.
Yeah, well, of course, we don't like to talk about such things, but now we've about served our time, I reckon, men.
Won't be long before we'll have to move on. There'll be somebody else to take her place.
Oh, yeah, Lord me, they'll soon forget about us.
It's sort of like the years. Here, 1938's almost gone. There's been a lot of things happen, but it'll all soon be forgot. There's been lots of joys and happiness.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's been lots of heartaches and lots of blasted hopes. But there's a new year coming, and we all get to start all over again. Here come 1939, bringing new hope and new courage. And we're sort of like the years, us three old fellas. We're sort of like 1938, and we're waiting on 1939. The little baby in yonder.
Well, it's just like I've always said.
Wait a minute, I believe somebody's coming to the door now.
Oh, maybe it's Doc.
Any news yet, Doc?
Well, men, it's a fine baby boy.
And now, in the spirit of the season, Lum and Abner and the makers of Postum sincerely wish all of our friends a happy and joyous Christmas. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. KNX Columbia.
The Jell-O program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Kenny Baker, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with This Can't Be Love. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I've been thinking that today is a day of universal thank yous. Everybody's unwrapping Christmas gifts. Everybody's saying thank you to somebody else. And we want to say it, too. We want to thank you, listeners, for your gift to us of friendship and loyalty during the past 4.5 years. You made us mighty happy, tuning in every Sunday night, and we hope that we, in turn, have helped make you happy and brought you some pleasant half hours. So, for the makers of Jell-O and for every one of us on the Jell-O program, thank you and Merry Christmas. This Can't Be Love, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this being Christmas Day, we look in on Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills, where he is holding open house for all his friends. Take it away!
Jingle bells, jingle around the table. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a rumble seat with Gable. Jingle bells, dum-da-dum.
Mary, I wish you wouldn't jingle this ladder. I'm liable to fall off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack.
And hand me the rest of those ornaments. I want to get this tree decorated before the gang gets here.
It's a fine time to be trimming a Christmas tree. It should have been done a week ago.
Well, I wanted to look around and get a real good one.
I never saw such a droopy tree. It looks like Zazu Fitz in a green dress.
Mary, all this tree needs is a few decorations. Now, hand me up those candy canes.
Here you are.
And hold the ladder. Hey, I had 12 of these candy canes. Now there's only 11. Where's the other one?
Don't look at me.
I'm not looking at you. I'm asking you.
All right, I ate it. Here's 10 cents.
Smarty, I bet you'd be surprised if I took it.
I wouldn't be surprised if you sued me.
Mary, I want to get this finished. Hey, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
Where's that big glass star I told you to pack away last Christmas?
You mean that shiny one with the 3 points on it?
That star has 5 points.
Well, it went down 2 points this last year.
All right, bring it anyway. Mary, hand me some of that silver tinsel there.
Here you are. Say, Jack, are your socks dry yet?
Yeah.
Well, take them off the tree. People will be here soon.
Okay. Now, hang on to the ladder, Mary. I want to fix these top branches here. Hold tight now. Well, I'll be darned.
What's the matter, Jack?
There's a little squirrel up here on the top. Hello, squirrel.
Hello, Nut.
Get away from me. Shoot. Mary, hand me that Cupid doll I won at Ocean Park. I'll hang that on the treetop there.
Oh, Jack, that looks so corny. Why don't you get rid of it?
Listen, Mary, I threw over 100 baseballs to win this doll, and I'm going to keep it.
That's right. Say, how much tinfoil have you got saved up by now?
About 3 tons. Oh, shut up. Hand me a couple of those popcorn balls.
There's the door, Mr. Benny. You want me to answer it?
Look, Rochester, I'm up here on the ladder. My arms are full of ornaments, so what do you think?
Well, how long before you'll be down?
Answer the door!
Yes,
Say, Mary, this tree is beginning to look pretty good now, isn't it, huh?
That tree wouldn't look good if Earl Carroll hung chorus girls on it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, happy Yuletide, gentlemen. Entree.
Oh, Jack, they're the boys from Phil's orchestra.
Gosh, what they did to my house last time they were here. Come in, fellas! Merry Christmas, everybody. Rochester, take the boys in the other room and give them some refreshment.
You mean that punch you fixed up this afternoon?
Yeah, help yourself, boys.
Take it easy, man. It ain't nothing to get excited about.
That Rochester doesn't think punch is any good unless you have to crawl away from the bowl. Now, let's see.
Say, Jack, who's all coming over tonight anyway?
Well, there's our whole gang. Then I invited some very important people. See, Robert Taylor and Barbara Stanwyck, Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, Ronald Coleman and Ginger Rogers. Oh, a whole flock of them.
Well, gee, I ought to run home and put on a dress with a lower back.
Lower back? It's down to San Diego now. And, oh, Mary, you want to hear something terrific? I asked Barbara Whitney to come here as my guest.
Barbara Whitney?
Yeah, you remember the girl I took away from Phil Harris?
The girl you took away from Phil?
What are you laughing at?
That's like taking a hair away from John L. Lewis's eyebrows.
Just the same, Phil will burn up when he sees her here.
Is she coming alone?
No, I asked John Wilson to stop by and pick her up. Now, Mary, hand me some more of that tinsel. I want to get this tree finished. Well, I guess they're starting to arrive now, huh?
Hey, Mr. Benny, are you still up on that ladder?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then I'll answer.
Well, that's mighty sweet of you. See, now I think I'll put something on this branch here.
Oh, Jack, why don't you stop fussing with that tree and come down?
No, Mary, Miss Whitney will be here, and I want it to look beautiful.
Hello, Rochester.
Hello, Mr. Baker. Merry Christmas, season's felicitations, and wipe your feet.
Hi, Hiya, Kenny.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Come on in, Kenny. Hang up your hat and coat and make yourself at home.
Okay, Jack. Am I the first one here?
No, the orchestra boys are in the other room. Hey, Kenny, don't hang your coat on the Christmas tree.
Would need something.
Well, it's not that bare.
Oh, say, Jack, here's a little present for you. It's nothing much, but I hope you like it.
Oh, thanks, Kenny.
Here, catch it.
Gee, I wonder what it is.
I'll bet it's a baked apple.
Bet it isn't. Say, it's a pretty package. Oh, Kenny, these are beautiful.
They're the very latest thing, Jack. Musical handkerchiefs.
Musical handkerchiefs, eh?
Yeah, every time you blow your nose, chimes ring.
Well, I'll be darned. I can hardly wait till I catch a cold.
Well, why don't you try one, Jack?
Okay, I will.
Now blow hard.
Oh, isn't that a novelty? I wonder how they ever made these.
They must have crossed a piece of linen with a hunk of xylophone.
Mary, you're positively brilliant.
Say, Jack, as long as the orchestra boys are here, I'd like to go in the next room and brush up on my song.
Oh, go ahead, Kenny. We'll want a little entertainment.
Okay, see you later.
Now, Mary, we've just got a few more things to put up. So hand me that big paper bell there.
Here you are, Jack.
Hey, Rochester, there's the door again.
I got my shoes on.
Well, put them on and answer it.
Okay.
You know, Mary, the way Rochester's been acting lately, I've got a good mind not to give him his Christmas present.
What'd you get him, Jack?
A brand new vacuum cleaner.
A vacuum cleaner?
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. He can play with it on his day off.
Well, at least it's something practical.
Here you are, boys. A couple of telegrams for you.
Telegrams. See who they're from, Mary.
Okay.
Christmas greetings, I suppose, huh?
Oh, Jack, this wire's from Robert Taylor.
Oh, Bob, huh?
Yes, he says that, Dear Jack, terribly sorry that Miss Stanwyck and I are unable to come to your party tonight, as Miss Stanwyck's dog Rover is quite ill.
I don't believe it. That's just a thin excuse. What's the other wire, Mary?
Here it is. It says, Dear Jack, believe me, Mr. Taylor is telling the truth. I have a terrible headache, signed Rover.
Well, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to see through those wires. I'm glad they're not coming. That burns me up.
Hey, Jack, should I try my song now?
Yes, go ahead and try it. What do I care? Mary, hand me some more of that lousy tinsel.
How still we see thee lie above thy deep and dreamless sleep. The silent stars go by, yet in the dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. Away in a manger, no crib for his bed, the little Lord Jesus lay down his sweet send to us, we pray. Cast out our sin and enter in, be born in us
today. This side here could stand a few more ornaments. Mary, hold the ladder.
Okay.
And hold it tight. Remember what happened the last time I climbed a tree?
Yeah, you saw the Rose Bowl game.
I don't mean that time.
Wow, look at all those decorations. Hey, Mary, what's that round shiny thing on top?
Jack's head.
It is not. It's a silver moon.
Hey, boss, another telegram for you.
Take it, Mary. I wonder if I should put a popcorn ball on top there instead of a star.
Oh, Jack, this telegram is from Ronald Coleman.
Oh, Ronnie, what does he say?
He says, Dear Sir, regret exceedingly that I cannot attend your holiday gathering, and incidentally, how did you get my address?
How did I get his address? He lives right in back of me.
Well, there's another one off your list.
Yeah. Oh, darn it, that top bulb went out. Hold the ladder tight, Mary. There, I guess I can reach it.
Oh, Jack, here comes Don Wilson and Barbara Whitney up the front steps.
Oh, fine. Let them in, Mary.
Okay.
Gee, I hope Barbara liked the Christmas present I sent her.
Hello, Don. Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Mary.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Barbara. Mary. Christmas. Ooh, my leg.
Was that the door, Mr. Benny?
No, that was me. I fell off the ladder.
Oh, I won't answer it then.
Help me up, Don. Ooh, I sat on some ornaments. I hope somebody sent me a pair of tweezers.
Here, give me a hand, Jack. That's too bad.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, Jack. It's all my fault.
No, it isn't, Barbara. I'd have probably fallen off anyway. Gee, I'm glad to see you, Babs. Hey, did Don drive carefully on the way over?
Well, he drove pretty fast, but he had his arm around me so I wouldn't bounce out.
Oh, so that's it. Why, Don.
From Harris to Benny to Wilson.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. I'm not a bit jealous of Don. He's my friend, aren't you, Don?
Yes, Jack, and believe me, I acted like a perfect gentleman.
Did he, Barbara?
Well, he did whisper something in my ear that was kind of cute.
Oh, yeah? What was it, Don?
Well, Jack, I'll admit I did sort of lose my head for a minute.
All right. Come on, Don. What did you whisper in Barbara's ear?
Well, I got all excited and I said, roses are red, violets are blue. Jell-O is tempting, and so are you.
Why, Don Wilson, look at those big red blushes on your face. Say, Babs, did you get the Christmas present I sent you?
Thanks, Jack. They were lovely, but I never wear pink ones.
Oh, darn it, Barbara. Keep still. God.
Oh, boy. Jack is sure some devil.
Stop laughing, Kenny. I bought Barbara a pair of pink gloves.
I bet they got lace on them.
They have nothing on the kind. Now, come on, everybody. Let's go in the other room and have some refreshments.
Hey, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
There's somebody at the back door wants to see you.
Oh, yes, I know who it is. Excuse me a minute. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, hello, Andy.
Hiya, Buck.
Not so loud. Wait till I close the door. Now, look, Andy. You'll find the Santa Claus suit out there in the garage. And as soon as you're dressed, you climb up on the roof and come down the chimney.
Well, I better put a beard on so they won't recognize me.
Yeah, you better put one on your tonsils, too. Now, here's the bag with all the presents in it.
Okay, gee, this is going to be fun.
Quiet, Andy. Quiet. They'll hear you.
Oh, say, Buck, here's a little Christmas present that Mom sent you. I hope you like it.
Well, that was very sweet of her. What is it, Andy?
Well, it's a combination salad, fork, and back scratcher.
Well, say, there's a comb on there, too.
Now, that's for your hair, or
Wait a minute, Andy. Say, there's a comb on there, too.
That's for your hair as you're going by.
Oh, yeah. But it's too late now. Now, look, remember, Andy. Remember, when you're all dressed up, when you're all dressed up, get up on the roof, see? And here's your cue. When you hear me say, Santa Claus will be here in a minute, you come down the chimney.
Okay, see you later, Buck. I feel like a darn fool.
Quiet, Andy. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Dum, dum, dum. Well, here I am again, gang. Hey, I'm sorry, Barbara. I had a little business to attend to.
Oh, that's quite all right. Say, Jack, another telegram just came for you. It's from Clark Gable and Carol Lombard.
Oh, what does it say?
It says that we would love to be with you tonight, but we were invited somewhere else in the nick of time.
Well, of all, that's the last time I'll ever invite them. I hope Ginger Rogers doesn't wire me that she can't come.
She couldn't wait. She telephoned.
No, that's fine. The next time I'll give a party, I'll get a crowd if I have to change my name to Elsa Maxwell. This is awful.
Yeah, what are we going to do with all this food in the kitchen?
I don't know, Rochester.
Doggone, I'll be eating so much cranberry sauce I'll be red in the face.
That's a neat trick if you can do it. Red in the face.
Say, Jack, isn't Phil Harris coming over tonight?
Phil? Of course he is, and wait till he sees Barbara Whitley here.
Why, Jack, didn't you tell Phil I had a date with you tonight?
No, let the wise guy find out for himself. Hey, boys, how about playing a number, fellas, and we'll wait and we'll dance till dinner is ready. Huh? And leave the punch bowl on the table. You can go back. Come on, Babs, let you and I dance.
I'm sorry, Jack. I promised the first one to Don.
Oh, I see. Well, Mary, looks like I'm stuck with you. Huh?
Oh, no, you're not. I'm stuck with Kenny.
Well, play, boys. Hey, Rochester.
I don't want to dance.
I don't want you to dance. I want you to put down that newspaper and get out of that easy chair. Hit it, boys. Who does Clark Gable think he is, anyway?
Well, thanks, Barbara. I enjoyed that dance very much.
So did I, Don.
Say, Mary, I'm some dancer, ain't I?
Kenny, you're marvelous, and believe me, I'm kidding.
Thanks, pal. Hey, Jack, what are you doing up on that ladder again?
I want to put these ornaments back on top of the tree. Now, Mary, hold the ladder steady this time, will you? There's the door, Rochester.
Doggone, every time that bell rings you up on the ladder.
Listen, Rochester, you'd be trimming this tree yourself if you weren't colorblind. Mary, hand me up those scissors.
Well, well, Merry Christmas, Mr. Harris.
Hiya, Rochester.
Say, Jack, it's Phil Harris.
Oh, boy, wait till he sees Barbara here. Merry Christmas, Phil.
Same to you, Jackson. Say, Jack, I brought a friend along. Do you mind?
No, who is it?
Jones Bennett.
Jones Bennett? hello, Joan.
Hello, Jack.
Ooh, my elbow.
Well, Jack, what are you doing in that ridiculous position?
Who, me?
It's an encore, but you don't know it.
Help me up, Mary. Well, Joan, I'm awfully glad you dropped in. Gee, it was nice of Phil to bring you.
Oh, he and I are old friends, aren't we, Phil?
You said it, baby. Baby. You know, Joan, every girl he takes out, he calls baby.
Well, he can't remember all their names.
Half of them you can't even pronounce. Oh, Joan, you know everybody here, don't you?
Nearly everybody. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Joan. Gee, that's a pretty dress you've got on.
Thanks. You really like it?
No, but it's Christmas.
Mary. Oh, Joan, I don't think you've met Miss Whitney. This is Barbara Whitney, my latest.
Well, how do you do, Miss Bennett? How do you do? She's a little young for you, isn't she, Jack?
Well, that's me. Get 'em young, treat 'em rough, and buy 'em nothing. You know, Joan, Phil is so witty at times.
Hey, Miss Bennett. Miss Bennett.
Yes, Kenny?
Here I am under the mistletoe.
I'll be over in about 5 years.
Very good, Joan.
5 years. Gosh, I'll be out of the mood by then.
Look what's in a mood. Well, boys and girls, I hope you're all hungry. We're going to have a swell turkey.
Don't tell me you went for a turkey.
Yes, I did, Phil. We're going to have a marvelous dinner. Everything from soup to nuts.
How much is it a plate?
I'll just ignore that. Oh, Rochester, how's the turkey coming along? We're getting hungry.
Well, it'll take time, boss. That's a pretty tough bird.
Tough bird? He's been in the oven over 3 hours.
I know, but every time I light the gas, he blows it out.
Well, I'll be darned. Now, you go out in the kitchen and rush that turkey along.
Okay. Man, that's the foulest fowl I ever saw.
I'm sorry, Joan, but you know Rochester exaggerates, though. The dinner is really lovely.
Well, to tell the truth, Jack, I'm not hungry.
Oh.
Well, there's an unusual blonde.
Quiet, Mary. Well, folks, let's have some of these hors d'oeuvres here till dinner is ready.
Oh, Jack. Rochester made a mistake.
Well, what's the matter?
There's only 7 of us here, and he brought in 8 olives.
Well, Joan can have 2. Gee, it's good to see you again, Joan. Gosh, I haven't seen you since we finished making artisan models abroad. We sure had a lot of fun in that picture, didn't we?
Yes, we did, Jack. It's playing around now. Have you seen it?
Joan, you promise you won't tell anybody?
I promise.
I saw it 12 times.
12 times?
Yeah.
You know your part, Jack?
A little trouble, didn't I? But say, Joan, no kidding. Gee, when I looked up at the screen and I saw you in my arms, gee, it seemed just like a dream.
You mean that scene where we were sitting on the park bench in the moonlight eating popcorn?
Yeah. Gee, wasn't it marvelous?
Well, I didn't think there was enough butter on it.
I'm talking about us.
Oh.
You know, Joan, the 2 of us worked so smoothly together. How'd you like to make another picture with me sometime?
Well, Jack, I don't know. I couldn't really say right now.
Send him a telegram. Everybody else does.
Mary. Oh, say, Joan, I almost forgot. Come on out here in the hall a minute. I got a surprise for you.
What is it?
Oh, come on. Come on with me. You'll find out. Excuse us a minute, will you, fellas?
Hey, Jack, what's the idea?
Never mind. Come on, Joan.
Oh, all right. Don't pull me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, here we are.
Where?
Right under the mistletoe. You know what that means, don't you?
No. What does it mean?
Well, it means this.
Yippee!
Wow!
Hooray.
Wasn't that swell, huh? Now, let's go back and, Joan, act nonchalant, huh?
All right.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Jum, dum, dum, da, dum, dum, dum. That's the idea.
Hey, Jack, what are we going to eat?
All right, pretty soon, fellas, pretty soon. Now, look, everybody. Before we go into dinner, I want you all to sit around the fireplace and get your presents. Santa Claus is coming down the chimney.
Santa Claus?
Yeah. Now, sit around the fireplace, everybody. Now, put out the lights, Mary.
Okay, Jack.
Because Santa Claus will be down here in a minute. Because Santa Claus will be down here in a minute. Because Santa Claus...
Oh, stop that clowning, Jack.
I'm not clowning. Santa Claus, are you deaf?
Deaf nothing. I'm stuck in the chimney.
Oh, my goodness. What do we do now?
Let's eat.
That's it. Come on, fellas. See you later, Andy.
This is the busiest season of all the year, and you mothers know it better than anyone else. Well, here's one swell way to save time and trouble and keep your family happy. Get acquainted with the delicious new Jell-O puddings and serve them often. For they're quick and easy to prepare, and the whole family will enjoy them. Jell-O butterscotch pudding, rich with old-fashioned butterscotch flavor. Jell-O vanilla pudding, creamy, delicate, and smooth. And Jell-O chocolate pudding, rich and chocolatey and tempting. All three can be made in next to no time, for they require only just a few minutes cooking. And you get delicious pudding, the real homemade kind that's just mouth-watering good. So for easy, inexpensive, and delicious desserts, try the new Jell-O puddings. Butterscotch, vanilla, chocolate.
Good night, folks, and Merry Christmas.
On the Jell-O program through courtesy of Mervyn LeRoy Productions. This is the National Broadcasting Company. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Goody Goodbye. You know, this coming Friday is the first official day of winter, and during the dark, blustery days ahead, you'll find nothing lights up the dinner table like the gay glint of orange Jell-O served as a bright, tempting salad or dessert. But suppose you live in Florida or sunny California, where you don't have to worry about dark winter days. Well, orange Jell-O is still your dish, for its cheerful color reflects the sunshine, and its extra-rich flavor rivals the tempting goodness of the real ripe fruit itself. Or try a tempting sea-green mold of lime Jell-O served with slices of canned pineapple. Or what would you say to lemon Jell-O, as gold in the sunshine, with stewed figs and whipped cream folded in to make a delicious creamy fig pudding? Why, there are dozens of grand ways to serve Jell-O, each one a creation that will climax the meal. So stock up on Jell-O tomorrow and look for the big red letters on the box when you buy. They spell Jell-O in 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Hello again. This is Tilly the Toiler talking. And, Don, you're right. I don't ever remember being as rushed as I've been this past week. I'm a wreck.
I can appreciate that, Jack.
You know, when I got home last night, I was so exhausted I didn't have the energy to go upstairs. I slept all night on the billiard table.
My goodness, you must have been tired.
I was, Don. I rolled and tossed and tossed and rolled till almost daylight.
Restless, huh?
No, I forgot to take the balls off the table. I didn't mind that so much, but Rochester charged me 60 cents an hour. It's his thing. Belongs to him, you know. What a night, huh?
Well, if you're tired, Jack, it's your own fault. Radio keeps you busy enough. What are you making a picture for?
That's what I can't figure out, Don. I can't understand Paramount putting me in another picture so soon. I'm not tired of my last one yet. I've seen it so many times, I won 8 Plymouths. Anyway, I'm making another one now.
Well, Jack, tell me something about your new picture. Is it a light, sophisticated comedy like Man About Town?
Oh, no, Don. This is a Western, a real rip-snorting melodrama full of action and thrill.
Well, that's a surprise. How did they happen to cast you in that type of story?
Well, you see, Gary Cooper isn't at Paramount anymore, and they seem to think that I'm the one to take his place.
What was that, Jack?
I said Paramount seems to think I'm the only one at the studio that can take Gary Cooper's place.
Well, so long, Don. See you later.
Mary, come back here. There's nothing ridiculous about my playing parts like Gary Cooper.
What are you talking about? In the first place, Gary Cooper's better looking than you are.
Well, a little makeup will take care of my look.
And he's younger than you are.
Mary, makeup will help me there, too.
And he's a great actor. Put some mascara on that.
Listen, my critical friend, I can play those strong Western types, too. I can talk through my teeth just like Gary Cooper.
What do you mean, your teeth?
Mary, possession is 9 points of the law. Anyway, wait till you see the picture, young lady. You'll change your mind.
Say, Jack, is Phil Harris in this one, too?
Yes, Don, he's in it, but I can't understand why. He must have something on the director. I wish I knew what it was. I'd like to get some more lines. I'd like to get that one straight. Oh, well, I'll just snoop around, you know.
Well, how is Phil in it, Jack? Has he got a pretty big part?
You'd think so to see him strut around on the set. He's such a ham, Don, and yet he tries to be so democratic.
What do you mean?
Well, he's got a sign on the back of his chair that says, Phil Harris, never too busy to say hello. Isn't that corny?
Well, Jack, I guess that's just his way of being a good fellow.
I know, Don, but it's so hammy, all those words on there. All I got on the back of my chair is just Jack Benny. And right under it, a simple little star. Why overdo it? Well, anyway, besides Phil, there's Ellen Drew, Ward Bond, Andy Devine, and, oh, yes, Rochester's in the picture. I forgot.
You'll remember when it comes out.
Listen, Mary, I'm the hero. That's good enough for me. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Gary.
Gary?
And I do mean Indiana. Pretty sharp, eh?
Oh, that was a honey. How long did it take you to think that one up, Phil?
Came to me like a flash. All my stuff is impromptu.
That's impromptu. And incidentally, Phil, I wish you'd stop telling everybody at Paramount that you're playing the part of my son. It's not true. Besides, it takes away from the romance.
Some romance. I read the script, and in the end, Jack marries a cow.
That's cowgirl. You'd have turned the page, you'd have seen the word girl. Anyway, this is radio, so let's forget about pictures. We can talk about something else.
Hey, Jackson, as long as we're changing the subject, how about paying off that bet you welched on?
What bet?
That bet we made on the USC-UCLA game. Come on, pay off.
Phil, I'd pay off if I owed you anything, but that game was a tie.
Sure it was a tie, but you took USC and gave me 7 points.
I don't care if I gave you 50 points. The score was nothing to nothing. That means I get nothing and you get nothing. Now get your band together and play a number.
I don't want to interfere, Jack, but if you gave Phil 7 points, he won that bet and you ought to pay him.
Certainly ought to pay him.
Why, of course. Oh. All right, Phil, all right. Here's a quarter. Now leave me alone. Oh, what a guy.
Thanks, Jackson. Here's your change.
Thanks. Now go ahead and play, you sorehead. Next time I gamble with you, I'm going to have it in writing. the Kisses, played by a miser and his orchestra. Miser, Phil, meaning a man who thinks more of 15 cents than he does of my friendship. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
All right, if that's the way you feel about it, Jackson, here's your money back.
It's not the money, Phil. I just don't think I lost that bet.
You don't think you lost on Hoover?
Mary, I conceded that months ago. We're talking about the football game.
The trouble with you is you don't know anything about gambling. You're just a poor sport.
I'm a poor sport. That's a hot one. For your information, Phil, I had an uncle who was one of the most famous gamblers in Waukegan. Why, he'd bet $1,000 on the turn of a card.
I bet he was an uncle by marriage.
No, his name was Benny. Stand back, you bother me, boys. Benny. So keep that 15 cents, Mr. Small Fry. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Oh, Jack, don't forget about,
I'm coming to that, Don. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas being just a week off, Mr. Don Wilson, that eminent American author, has written another of his famous one-act plays. Take it, Don.
The time, ladies and gentlemen, is the night before Christmas. The scene is the home of Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus at the North Pole. Mr. Jack Benny will be Santa Claus.
Yes!
Never mind, Mary. With a beard, no one will know the difference. Go ahead, Don.
The North Pole. Curtain. Music.
Oh, Santa.
What do you want there?
You better get started pretty soon. The reindeers are all hitched and everything.
Well, I got a few more letters here, and I got to see that the kiddies want before I put my bag in the sleigh.
I'll help you. Here's a letter from Encino, California. It's from a kid named Philip Harris.
Tear it up.
But Santa, he says he's been a good little boy.
Good little boy. Why, last Christmas I got to his house around 5 a.m., and he was just getting home. Not only that, he threw snowballs at me.
There's no snow in Encino.
He didn't know it. Well, what does little Philip want from Santa Claus?
14 points in Tennessee.
Well, he'll never get it.
Oh, Santa, here's a letter from Rochester Van Jones, Jr. in Central Avenue, California.
Rochester Van Jones. What does he want?
He says, Dear Santa, please send me a sled, a pair of roller skates, and a bottle of gin.
Well.
P.S. If you haven't got the sled and the roller skates, no hard feelings.
I'll see what I can do. Any more kiddies to be heard from?
Yes, here's one from Jackie Benny, Beverly Hills, California.
Well. Little Jackie Benny. He's a cute kid. What's the little rascal got to say?
He says, Dear Santa Claus, have been a good boy all year, so when I give a party Christmas Eve, will you please send Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, Robert Taylor, and Barbara Stanwyck to Roan
Let's see that letter. There's nothing of the kind. Well, goodbye, darling. It's getting late, and I must be going.
Can I go with you?
That's fine. I got one night out a year. My wife wants to go along. Nothing doing. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye. Oh, Santa, just one more thing.
What is it?
When you get to Aunt Sheridan's house, just fill her stocking and get.
Oh, don't be so jealous. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Who can that be?
Come in.
Special delivery for Santa Claus. Right here, boy. Well, it's from little Tubby Wilson, 834 Blimp Avenue, Van Nuys, California.
What does he say?
He says,
Dear Santa Claus, I have been a good boy all year, but I don't want a sled and I don't want roller skates. Just give me some Jell-O in all 60 richest flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and white.
Well,
yours truly, Cuddles Wilson.
Well, there's the first kitty I'm going to take care of. So long, honey. I'll be home in the morning.
Okay, and stay away from the Wilshire Bowl.
I will. Goodbye. Get up, you reindeer. Come on, yonder. Giddy up with them. Buck Santa rides again. Don, that was marvelous. That's one of the best plays you've ever written.
I thought you'd like it, Jack. And by the way, what did you think of that surprise finish when I asked for Jell-O?
Oh, Don, it was such a shock. I never expected it. And now, folks...
Gee, I knew what he was getting at all the time.
Oh, hello, Dennis. I didn't hear you come in.
Well, my shoes don't squeak anymore.
Well, Dennis, I don't want to rush you, but Don's play reminded me I still have a lot of Christmas shopping to do, so go ahead with your number and I'll run along.
Can I go with you, Jack? I've got some stuff to buy, too.
Sure, come on, Mary. Oh, Don, you and Phil take care of the rest of the program, will you?
Sure, Jack, we'll carry on. Here's a Lulu, folks. When I was in Asia, I slept in an attic. Darn those Asiatics.
For heaven's sake. Stop with those 1912 Thunderbolts. Go ahead and sing, Dennis. I'll see you next week.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, could I speak to you a minute?
Of course, Dennis. What is it?
Well, it's a little personal, and I'd like to talk to you in private.
You can tell me right here. What's on your mind?
Well, Mr. Benny, my mother,
Yes? Go
I
ahead.
don't know how to say it.
Go on, Dennis. Don't be bashful.
Well, my mother told me to ask you, when are you going to start paying me for singing here?
Oh, well, that's strange. I take care of you every week, don't I, Dennis?
Yes. But, gee, we got enough Jell-O now for 25 years.
Oh, well, look, Dennis, you go back in and sing your song. I'll think it over.
I wish you would. Our house is so full of boxes, we can't walk around.
Well, just leave it to me, and everything will be all right. Come on, Mary. His mother burns me up. She hasn't even paid me for a Christmas card yet. Oh, well.
And now, folks, Dennis Day, our young tenor, will sing a beautiful number called Tomorrow Night. Sing, Dennis.
Tomorrow night will all the thrill be gone. Tonight is filled with 1,001 delights, and you are saying this is a night of nights. And while I'm holding you here in the soft moon glow, there's only one thing I give the world to know. Tomorrow night, will you remember what you said tonight? Tomorrow night, will all the thrill be gone? Just another memory, another song that wouldn't linger on. Tonight your lips are tender, your heart is beating fast. You willingly surrender, for something will it last. Tomorrow night, will you be with me when the moon is bright? And will you say the things you said tonight? Will you remember them? The things you said
Gee, the store is crowded. Everybody doing their Christmas shopping the last minute. Stick close to me, Mary. Here, I'll take your arm.
Let go of me, you masher.
Oh, pardon me, miss. It's so crowded here. I thought you were someone else.
Oh, tell that to the Marines.
I don't even know any. Mary, where are you?
Here I am, right behind you. Who's your girlfriend?
Not my girlfriend.
Well, you tried hard enough, Gary.
I said I was sorry, miss. Now, stay close to me, Mary. Have you got my Christmas list?
Yes, here it is.
What does it say?
Dear Jackie boy, I waited for you in the owl drugstore.
The list is on the other side. Read it.
Wait a minute. Who's Gladys?
She's a pin girl at the bowling alley. You've seen her 1,000,000 times. Now, give me that list. Let's see, I got to get some perfume for my sister, a watch for Don Wilson, and I got to take care of Phil, and I got to get something nice for Dennis.
I know what Dennis is giving you, Jack.
What?
A pair of socks.
Pair of socks? What a little tightwad. Bet that kid's got the first box of Jell-O he ever earned. Well, I'll get Don's present first. I wonder where the watch department is.
Let's ask the floor walker.
Yeah, there's one. This must be him. Pardon me, are you the floor walker?
Yes, I'm the floor walker. What do I look like, a telephone booth?
Well, how do I know? You haven't got a carnation on.
I had one, but I ripped it to pieces.
Now, listen, buddy.
Just tell him what you want, Jack.
Listen, buddy, if it won't tax your mentality too much, will you please direct me to the watch department?
No, I won't.
Well, if you don't tell me where it is, I won't buy a watch.
What do I care? It's not for me.
Well, it's the last time I'll ever come to this store.
Oh, Jack, there's the watch counter right over there.
You stool picking?
What a guy. I don't know how he holds his job here. Come on, Mary, give me your arm.
Hey, you let go of me.
Oh, it's you again.
Will you stop following me around?
Well, I thought that...
It's no use. I'm engaged.
Well, I pity the fella. Come on, Mary. She thinks I'm trying to make a date with her.
You've done worse.
Here's the watch counter.
How do you do, sir? Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to look at a watch, please.
Bullover, pullover, schmullover.
Just a watch, a man's wristwatch.
Well, let me see. Now, here's our new Venus de Milo model. No hands on it.
No hands on it? Well, how do you tell time?
Call Ulrich, 8900.
Well, that's too complicated. I'd like to get something a little more practical. You know?
Jack, I'm going over to do my own shopping. See you later.
Okay.
Now, here's a very smart clock, and it's only $25.
A clock? Well, I really wanted a watch.
But this is a real bargain. Yesterday, this same clock sold for $1,250.
Well, my goodness, how could you afford to cut it from $1,250 to $25?
We took the Buick off.
Oh, it was in a car. Huh? Well, I just like a wristwatch, please. Oh, here's something cute. How much is this one?
$10.
Well, that's just what I want. I'll take it. Here's your money.
Thank you.
Hey, this is beauty, all right.
It certainly is. And you know it has that new unbreakable crystal. Here, try it out.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Go ahead. Take the full hammer and hit it.
Oh, all right. Wrap it up? You mean sweep it up? And give me back my $10.
I'm sorry. You'll have to see the floor walker about that.
What?
Oh, Mr. Chambers.
What is it, Miss Kelsey?
This man broke a watch with a hammer, and he wants his money back.
Well, certainly I broke the watch, but she told me to.
She told you to?
Yes.
Well, haven't you got a mind of your own?
Certainly I have a mind of my own, but this young lady told me it was unbreakable.
Young? Why, she's 42 if she's a day.
We're not arguing about that. I want my $10 back.
Oh, give it to him, Miss Kelsey, before he bites somebody.
Yes.
Here's your money. Boy, what a sore loser.
Certainly a fine store to do business with.
You walked in, Sugarfoot. Nobody dragged you.
Oh, quiet. Now, where the dickens is Mary?
Your daughter is over there at the hosiery counter.
She's not my daughter. More trouble buying a little watch. What's Mary buying?
I like this shade. I'll take a half a dozen pair of those 2-thread hose. You're wrong, lady. This hose is 3 threads. Oh, no, it's 2 threads. I beg your pardon, but it's 3 threads. Listen, sister, don't argue with me. Not so long ago, I was standing right where you are.
That's selling her, Mary.
Oh, hello, Jack. You get a watch for Don?
Yes, but I broke it with a hammer. It's a long story. Let's go over to the perfume counter.
Okay. Shall I wrap up these stockings, miss? Yes, I'll be back later. Oh, by the way, who's pitching for your softball team now?
Mary, you can talk shop later. Come on. Oh, Mary, here comes that girl who thought I was trying to flirt with her.
Yeah.
Watch me have some fun with her. Hello, sweetie pie. Ow! Here, Mary, hold my coat.
Oh, Jack, you're in a store.
Lucky for her, believe me.
Here's the perfume counter.
I see it. Pardon me, sir. I'd like to buy some perfume.
Okay, mister, what kind of perfume would you like?
Well, I don't know. What's popular right now?
Well, now, here's something that's exotic, yet you can smell it a mile. Lamawa, Kujawa, Lamawa.
Well, let me see that. It does smell lovely.
It ain't bad to drink either.
Well, I really don't care how it tastes. You see, I'm buying it for my sister.
Oh, is she on the wagon?
No, she just doesn't drink perfume. She's eccentric. Anyhow, it has an exquisite scent. How much is this?
2 clams a slug.
Oh, that's reasonable enough. Do you think I ought to take a bottle of this, Mary?
Certainly.
Mary. Well, wrap it up, and I'll drop by on my way out.
Okay, pal.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to seem impertinent, but how does a fellow like you happen to be selling perfume?
I'm the only mug in a joint that can speak French.
Oh. Well, we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Au revoir, pal.
Quite a character. Let's see, what's next on the list, Mary?
You got to get something for Phil and Dennis.
Yeah, let's walk over to the necktie department then.
Oh, Jack, look.
What?
Here's Rochester buying some neckties.
Oh, yeah, and that floor walker's waiting on him. They sure are busy here.
I'll bet Rochester's getting a tie for you.
Let's sneak up behind him.
Well, I think this tie is beautiful. It's very unusual.
Yes, but I don't think my boss would like it. It ain't his style.
I see. Well, what type of man is your boss?
Well, he's kind of tall, medium weight, and rather conservative.
You mean he's conservative in appearance?
It goes deeper than that.
Well, at least he's subtle.
Quiet, I want to hear this.
Now, here's a rich-looking tie. Maybe he'd like this one.
Yeah, that's a pretty thing. How much is it?
It's only $3.50.
How much?
$3.50.
Too bad he didn't like that one.
Oh, fine.
Well, if you don't want to spend quite so much, here's a lovely tie for 89 cents.
89 cents?
That's right.
The deal is practically closed.
Can you imagine that?
Of course, it may be a little too plain for your boss. Is he a young man?
No.
Is he middle-aged?
No.
Is he elderly?
Wrap it up.
Rochester Van Jones.
Oh, hello, boss. I didn't see you.
I know you didn't. And don't be buying me any 89-cent tie.
You keep out of this.
I will not. This fellow works for me. Now, look, Rochester, you've been with me 3 years now, and I've been very nice to you. I've always tried to make things pleasant for you and keep you happy.
Is that open for discussion?
No, it isn't. Now, I'm leaving you here at this necktie counter, and I want you to decide for yourself whether or not I'm worth more than an 89-cent tie. Come on, Mary, let's go.
Okay.
Hey, Mary, which tie do you think Rochester's going to buy me? The one for $3.50 or the 89-cent one?
Well, if you were Rochester, which one would you buy?
I'll fire that guy. Right,
They say, ladies and gentlemen, that it isn't good manners to point. But there really is one time when it is all right, and that's when you see Jell-O butterscotch pudding on your grocer's shelf. Every day, thousands of discriminating housewives make this new dessert a regular part of their marketing. And they serve it often because it's an all-family favorite, with its rich, buttery, brown sugar goodness and its tempting, deep golden color. Served with nuts, fruits, marshmallows, shredded coconut, or with just a big dab of snowy whipped cream, Jell-O butterscotch pudding is absolutely top. And the same goes for Jell-O vanilla and chocolate pudding. So add these 3 grand new desserts to your menu often. You can serve them time and time again in a variety of delightful ways with no risk of tiring the family's taste. Tomorrow, when you're at the grocer's, just point to Jell-O puddings and watch them point the way to a real treat.
We're a little late, so good night, folks.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Flow Coat present Marion and Jim Jordan as Fibber, McGee, and Molly with Bill Thompson, Jimmy Shields, and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with It's a Happy Day. Before we get together for another Fibber and Molly show next week, many of you will be richer by many lovely Christmas gifts. When you have them all unwrapped and you're standing there thinking how nice Santa was to you, ask yourself this question. How many of these presents should be protected with genuine Johnson's Wax? Now, to some of you, that might seem a strange thought. Of course, you can't wax a necktie or a handkerchief or a negligee, but you'd be surprised how many things you can protect and preserve with Johnson's Wax. Picture frames and parchment lampshades, for instance. A wax polish will keep them beautiful and easier to clean and dust. Leather goods, new luggage, shoes, fine book covers, handbags should all be given a Johnson Wax beauty treatment. Guns, fishing rods, sleds, even fine briar pipes all benefit in appearance and service when they're wax protected. It's the same Johnson's Wax that has beautified and protected floors for over 50 years that gives greater beauty to tables, chairs, and woodwork. So, before you begin to use these lovely gifts, protect their beauty with genuine Johnson's Wax. Molly has convinced Fibber that his back fence quarrels with neighbor Gildersleeve have no place during the Yuletide season. Result? Here shoveling the snow off Gildersleeve's sidewalk in a burst of virtue and perspiration, we find Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Nice work, McGee. Only 20 feet to go. Are you tired, dearie?
Oh, phew. All right, tired. And look at these blisters.
Oh, heavenly days. They are big, aren't they?
Big. I ain't had such blisters since I played hooky from the 5th grade.
How could you get blisters on your hand playing hooky?
Did I say they was on my hand?
Go to work. You're almost through now.
Okay.
There.
Well, all finished. Whew, am I tired.
And a nice job, too, dearie.
Yeah, but it ain't right, Molly. Doing all this work for a big heel like Gildersleeve.
Well, a heel never gets anywhere without some good soul to lead the way.
Wow.
Let's go in the house. I'm cold after that.
Hey, Fibber, Molly, I've got something for you.
Oh, look, McGee, Mr. Wilcox.
Uh-oh. This may be that thing, folks. Better start taking up the rug. Well, and what have you got for us, Mr. Wilcox?
A big package. Here, take it, Fibber.
Oh, is it from you, Mr. Wilcox?
No, I just happened to see your name on it at the post office, so I told the mailman I'd save him a trip.
Oh, gee, thanks, Arlo. What you been doing at the post office?
Oh, I just sent my little nephew a snake for Christmas.
Oh. Snake? That's kind of dangerous, ain't it, for a kid?
Oh, it couldn't hurt him. It's just a baby snake.
How do you know?
Well, it's still carrying its little rattle.
Oh.
Well, so long, folks.
Reminds me of the time when I was a boy, Molly. Somebody gave me a Great Dane for my birthday, but I had to give it away.
Why?
Cost too much to feed him. Had the house broke before he was.
Oh. Well, come on, let's go in and open up this package.
Okay. Who's the package from, Molly?
Look, McGee.
Huh?
It's from your Uncle Sycamore.
No. Not old Uncle Sycamore McGee.
Right.
Why, he wouldn't send anybody anything. That guy's tighter than the middle sardine.
But you always said he was a very wealthy man.
Sure, he is, but he's such a miser, that's probably a couple of pounds of sawdust to refill that rag doll he gave me when I was 3 years old.
Oh, McGee.
And I'll bet he foreclosed the mortgage on the saloon to get the sawdust.
Well, whatever it is, I don't think we should open it until Christmas. Uncle Sycamore'd be offended.
Now, wait a minute, Molly. Wait a minute. As the guy says when he's seen the gal in the old-fashioned bathing suit, there must be more here than meets the eye. Maybe the old spider has finally got a hunk of Christmas spirit.
Yeah, like old Scrooge. Maybe he's broken down at last.
Sure, he's getting pretty well along in years, you know. Maybe he's begun to realize that I'm old enough now to handle large sums of money, and maybe he's... Oh, shucks, I'm dreaming.
Well, don't wake up now. Go on and dream.
I was just thinking the old skinflint might really send a wad of dough to... Oh, no, I'm wrong. Not that old tightwad.
How can a man be so stingy?
I don't know.
They say he's so close-fisted, the only way a fortune teller can read his palm is with an X-ray.
Yeah? What'd you say? X-ray?
Yeah.
That's it, Molly. You got it. X-ray. We'll get that package X-ray. That won't hurt Uncle Sycamore's feelings.
Wonderful, McGee, wonderful. Oh, you're so clever.
Oh, it was nothing that any red-blooded American boy could... Get your hat, Molly. We're going downtown and get this box X-ray. We'll even take a cab.
I'll be right with you, dear.
Oh, I'm a millionaire if that package you got there is more than a sack of navy beans. You ready, Molly? Let's go.
Here you are, buddy. The Whistle Vista X-ray Laboratory, second door on the left. Here's your change, Doc.
Oh, go. That's all right. Keep it, bud.
Gee, thanks. This'll come in handy. I was all out of sin.
Well, what did you swallow?
We ain't swallowed anything, sis.
Oh, really?
No.
Most everybody comes in here swallowed something. Hairpins or coins or tacks. I'm writing a book about it.
I can't even swallow that.
What's the title of your book, dearie? How to Get to the Seat of Your Trouble Without Calling an Usher.
I'm an author myself, you know, sis.
What did you write?
The Midget's Britches. It was one of them shorts.
Now, look, miss. We want some X-ray pictures taken of this package.
Yeah.
I see. If you sit down, the technician will see you in a few minutes.
Oh, fine.
Oh, McGee, you know, I'm a little nervous.
Me too.
What if there is $1 million in this package?
Oh, don't say too much about it, Mom.
Oh, good
Good day, my dear. Will you please see if my X-ray plates are ready?
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Uppington. They won't be ready until tomorrow.
Hey, Molly, look who's here. A big flake off the upper crust.
Well, for goodness sake. You who, Mrs. Uppington? Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee? Oh, so nice to see you. Oh, and Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy.
Did I hear you asking about some X-ray plates, Mrs. Uppington? Yes, for my brother Stuyvesant. Stuyvesant is an operatic baritone, you know. He played here last winter. Yes. Stuyvesant Uppingtonio. We heard him in the Barber of Seville. Remember, McGee?
Barbara who? Let me think. Barbara... Oh, yeah. Wasn't he the fat guy in the red tights that come out and hollered, next?
Please, Mr. McGee.
Well, what happened to Stuyvesant, Mrs. Uppington?
Oh, it happened last week at the annual banquet of the Union League Club. I was there with Stuyvesant, and I noticed he was eating entirely too fast. So I spoke to him about it. Sty, I said, you mustn't eat so fast. Really, I said, you're acting like a pig, Sty.
Dear.
Yes. And just then it... Oh, what a horrible moment. He swallowed a lace doily.
Oh.
Not Stuyvesant.
My. He was hungry, wasn't he?
Does he like Chinese food, Uppy? I got an extra laundry bag he can have if he'll take
please. Mr. McGee, I don't consider Stuyvesant's predicament any cause for levity.
Oh.
Particularly in view of the outrageous newspaper publicity.
What the newspapers do, Uppy?
Oh, that horrible nickname they gave poor Stuyvesant when they saw the X-rays of that lace doily over his heart.
What nickname, Mrs. Uppington?
The Human Valentine.
Oh.
Isn't that perfectly disgusting?
That is.
Oh, well, goodbye.
What in conket you suppose is in that package, Molly? Here, let me heft it a minute.
Here it is.
Weighs about 9 pounds. I wonder what weighs 9 pounds.
I did when I was born.
Oh, there, baby. Here's the film, Jordan.
Oh, thank you. Better stop by again tomorrow.
Sure will, baby. Well, hello there, Johnny. Hello, daughter. Glad to see you.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer. I see you're working for some film company.
Yep. They say it's got a great future, too. But I don't know. I still like the old stereopticon.
You would.
Hey!
Incidentally, you know who invented the magic lantern? Old Diogenes, when he was looking for an honest man. He knew he couldn't do it without magic.
That's pretty good, Johnny. But that ain't the... See, what am I talking about? That wasn't either good. Hey? Oh, the way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, see, says, have you seen Tom Hope's new picture, The Cat and the Canary? No, says the second feller. Anyway, that ain't Tom Hope's picture, it's Bob Hope. Oh, says the first feller. I thought he played the part of the cat. Well, so long, kids. Merry Christmas.
Same to you, old-timer. Tom Hope. I wonder what would happen if the Cat and the Canary ever played a double bill of mice and men. I bet the mice would...
Woohoo! One side, everybody. Let me see the X-ray man.
I'm afraid you can't see him right now, Grandma. He's busy.
Okay, Shorty. I just wanted my collarbone X-rayed. I think I busted it.
Huh?
But it don't really matter. I hardly ever wear collars anyway. Yippee!
How'd you bust the collarbone, Grandma?
I fell off a boxcar on the way back from Atlanta. Woohoo! What a trip.
Yeah?
I went down there for the preview of Gone with the Wind. Wowee, what a picture. Only thing is, Skippy, I didn't get the big ovation I expected.
Ovation? What did you expect?
And that Clark Gable never even give me a tumble. The wretch.
Now, wait a minute. What is this? Why should they have paid any attention to you, Grandma?
Shorty?
Huh?
It was a long time ago when you was only a boy.
Yeah?
But I was the first girl ever tested for Scarlett O'Hara. Oh, them were the good old days. Say, girlie, when the dock is free, give me a ring at the bowling alley. Woohoo! One side for a glamour girl.
glamour girl, eh?
Say, she might have come from a good Southern family at that, McGee.
Yeah. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if hers was one of the first families of Virginia to go barefoot.
Mr. McGee, the technician will see you now.
Oh, thank you, dearie. Bring the package, McGee.
Okay. Ooh, careful, Molly. It's kind of dark in here.
Yeah.
You the X-ray technician, Bud?
Certainly am, Wogglebug. Yes, indeed.
Oh, Boomer.
Yes, Horatio K. Boomer. Expert on the short wave and the long haul.
Say, we want to have this package X-rayed, Mr. Boomer. We think there's money in it.
Yeah.
Money?
Yeah.
Why, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Now, look here, Boomer. I won't stand for this. You... Oh, hello, Fibber and Molly. Excuse me.
Oh, don't mind us, Harlow, but ain't you in the wrong office? This is an X-ray, not a fluoroscope.
Well, never mind that now. Look here, Boomer. You're a gyp.
Now, there is a very penetrating bit of character analysis. Go on, Mr. Wilcox.
Yes. Proceed with the indictment, my long-limbed linoleum lover.
Well, looky here. Look at this fake X-ray photograph of Mrs. Perkins' spinal column.
Is that it?
You told her this proved she needed a long series of X-ray treatments for a lame back.
Well, now, wait a minute, Harlow. Maybe Boomer's right.
Oh, yeah? I took this picture to a real X-ray expert, and he said this was a fairly bad photograph of a banana stalk.
Heavens. A banana stalk.
Curses. I am undone.
Now, you know very well, Boomer, there's nothing wrong with Mrs. Perkins' back that a little rest from floor scrubbing wouldn't cure in a week.
Uh-oh. Somebody must have left the script open.
Now, I told Mrs. Perkins, Boomer, to get some Johnson self-polishing glow coat for her linoleum, and she'd never again have a lame back from hours of scrubbing and worrying about scuffed and dull linoleum.
I'll say so.
Why, with glow coat, all she has to do is pour a little on the linoleum, spread it around, and wait for it to dry. No rubbing, no buffing. It's as simple as that. Here, take your picture of the banana stalk.
Rather like that young man. Admire you sincerity. Excitable fellow, though.
Well, hurry up and X-ray that package, will you, Mr. Boomer?
Ah, yes, the package. Interesting assignment. Though this work presents many a fascinating problem. For instance, I X-ray a man, and all the valuables in his pockets are immediately exposed to my view. Care to look at some of my trophies? Here's a pair of star sapphire cufflinks. Had to give a patient 50,000 volts to get those. Must have been quite a shock to him. Yes. Here's a beautiful wallet. Took it right out from under a fellow's eye.
Huh?
Here's the wallet. And here's his eye. Here's a check for short beer. Yes, it's a fascinating...
Oh, come on. Hurry up, Boomer, and X-ray this package.
Control yourself, Peabody. Control yourself. Just wait till I turn on the juice. Ready? Go. Seems to be something wrong. Miss Abernathy! Miss Abernathy!
Yes, Mr. Boomer?
Seems to be something wrong here with the car.
Yes, it was shut off a little while ago. You haven't paid the light bill.
Well, imagine that. No current.
Come on, dearie, let's go home.
Yeah.
I'd suggest you try another X-ray expert, and more power to him.
Folks, Jimmy Shields sings a beautiful old Irish ballad. I'll take you home again, Kathleen. Take it, please.
I'll take you home again, Kathleen. Across the ocean wild and wide, where your heart has ever been. In first you were my bonny bride. Your roses all have left your cheek. I've watched them fade away and die. Your voice is sad whenever you speak, and tears dim your
great, Jimmy.
Well, we certainly wasted a lot of time, McGee.
Yeah, listen, Molly, I can't wait till Christmas to open this package from Uncle Sycamore. Let's open it up now.
Okay, McGee, I give up. Open it.
Okay, nobody here but us chickens. Here she goes. Now, if this box is full of dough, we'll have it to spend for Christmas.
Right.
And come in.
Telegram for Fibber McGee. Sign here. Thanks.
Oh, that's okay, Bud. Keep the change. And a Merry Christmas to you.
What's it say, McGee?
Listen. Dear nephew, please take my clothes out of box and hang them up. Will arrive December 24th to spend the holiday. Don't meet me at the station. We'll walk. It's cheaper. Signed Sycamore McGee. Well, I'll be run upstairs and get a cake of soap and a hairbrush, Molly. I think you're going to have to wash my mouth out and spank me in a few minutes.
Well, let yourself go, dearie. I know just how you feel.
Why, that stingy old rip. Molly, it ain't fair. Doing me out of $1 million like that. Not after the way I scrimped and saved and denied myself all these years. Ah, shucks, that spoils my whole Christmas.
Oh, now, come. Cheer up, dearie. It isn't that bad.
Oh, go away.
Oh, be quiet. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh. What's on your mind, sis? I says, what you want?
What you got?
That's beside the point.
Gee, is it? You'd better be careful in having it,
Hadn't what? Listen, little girl, I ain't in any mood for small talk today. I just had a great sorrow.
Oh.
What you want?
Well, gee, I've just been going around the neighborhood looking at people's Christmas trees, I bet you. Where's yours?
We ain't put it up yet.
Oh.
What's more, the way I feel now, I don't care if we never have a
Oh, McGee, now that's no way to talk.
Well, anyway, what...
Gee, I guess you're an old sourpuss, mister, I bet you.
I am not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, no, or am I? Hey, maybe I am at that. Hey, what's the matter with me, anyway?
I'd rather tell you sometime after Christmas, mister.
Oh, you would, eh? Look, sis, you were absolutely right. I am a sourpuss.
Right.
I'm a Scrooge. You come back Monday and take a look at our Christmas tree, and I think I can safely say there'll be something on it for you.
Gee, honest? Oh, boy.
Get a load of that expression, Molly. I'll bet this is the first place she comes on Christmas morning.
Oh, no, it won't.
Huh?
This is the 14th place, mister.
What?
Looky, I got a list, and they've all promised me a present. Gee, aren't people peachy, though? Hey, Willie. Yeah? I made my quota. How'd you do over Jones's?
A kid like that to get you in the Christmas spirit. You know, Molly, this really is a great time of the year.
Why, sure it is.
Yes, sir.
I'll almost be glad to have your Uncle Sycamore here.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far. What do we got to kick about? Enough to eat, a good home, nice neighbors.
Even Mr. Gildersleeve?
Why, sure, Gildersleeve is okay. And when he finds out I shoveled his sidewalk off for him, why, he'll be... Oh, I'll bet that's him now. Look, Molly, let's ask him and his wife over for dinner in Bridge tonight. Let's really get acquainted with them. I'll bet they're real people.
That's a good idea, McGee.
Yeah.
Come in. Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. So nice to see you.
Hi, Throcky, old man. Merry Christmas. Did you notice I shoveled all the snow off your sidewalk?
Yes, I did. And listen here, McGee. Why don't you shovel off your own sidewalk? I'll take care of mine and you take care of yours.
Well, I'll be a naughty comment.
Why, Mr. Gildersleeve, what do you mean? McGee thought it would be a nice neighborly gesture.
Mrs. McGee, the only gesture I want from that man you took for better or worse, and I know which, is a gesture of farewell.
Oh, yeah? Gildersleeve, you got no more gratitude than a collector of internal revenue.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, that's so.
McGee,
One of these days I'm going to tangle with you. And you'll wind up in a bigger cast than they had in The Wizard of Oz.
Gildersleeve, if you ever twitch a lapel toward me, I'll hand a couple of socks on your chin that Santa Claus couldn't fill in 8 centuries.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, that's so.
All right, boys. Break it up. Break it up.
Mommy,
Mrs. McGee, if this loose squirted banana oil.
Quiet, both of you. Sit down, McGee.
Okay.
And you, Mr. Gildersleeve. For shame.
Well,
The idea. Here it is nearly Christmas, and me husband went out of his way to...
I hope next time he goes so far out of his way he'll get lost.
Listen, Gildersleeve, you can't talk that way to my wife about her husband.
Now, listen here. I won't have this quarreling in my house. Not with Johnson's wax on the floor.
What's that got to do with it?
Nothing. But we haven't mentioned it for some time. Now, look, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes?
Why on earth should you be angry because somebody does you a favor?
Yeah.
McGee saved you a lot of work, just as a friendly act.
Yeah.
You're ungrateful and unreasonable.
But, Mrs. McGee, I wanted to shovel that snow off the sidewalk myself. In the first place, my wife got me a new show snubble for Christmas. My doctor told me to do it for the exercise. McGee is deliberately undermining my health. That's what he's doing. Not that I have anything against you. I like you, Mrs. McGee. Merry Christmas to you.
Fibber and Molly will be back in just a moment. I'd like to say a word in the meantime about your kitchen. If someone asked you where you were going to spend the holidays, many of you could almost truthfully say, in the kitchen. You certainly will spend more time there than you usually do, so why not make it as bright and cheerful as possible? How? Well, Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat will help greatly by giving your linoleum floors bright new beauty, bringing out their natural fresh colors, and protecting them with a polish that is easy to keep clean. Now, if you don't know how simple it is to use Glow Coat, just try a can tomorrow. There's practically no work at all. No rubbing or buffing. Just apply Glow Coat and let it dry. In 20 minutes, your floors gleam with new beauty. Besides making the floors beautiful and saving you work, Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat will make your linoleum last much longer. Ask your dealer for some tomorrow in the familiar red and yellow can, spelled GLO-COAT. Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat.
Well, Molly, as I always say,
Say, did you get our Christmas tree yet?
No, but I'm going to run out right now and bring in the clothes pole.
Clothes pole?
Yeah, with all the needles I've got today, I can make my own tree. Folks, this is our last chance to talk to you before Monday, and so on behalf of S.C. Johnson & Son and all of us on the program,
we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, Racine, Wisconsin, inviting you all to join us again next Tuesday night at this same time. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.